no doubt take charge. Good afternoon and welcome to the Boxing Day football here, the Vanarama Conference North game between Harrogate Town and Guiseley here on Guiseley AFC Radio. We're looking forward to a festive treat here as the Lions take on Harrogate Town, arch rivals in this division, for what promises to be a really feisty and interesting encounter this afternoon. I'm Colin Robertson, alongside me is Tom Feeney, and we'll be doing what we do week in, week out, which is bringing you coverage of the games that Guiseley are involved in, and hopefully, as we managed to do on Saturday, bring you news of 3 points, Tom.
Yeah, it's a massive game this. I think Christmas, it's a bit late for me, but this game to me is just fantastic. I've been going to this game for so many years now. Always a great atmosphere. Both sets of sides always give it their all. And, well, 3 points today, it really helped going into that big game on Sunday.
And, of course, the side story for this is the troubles that Harrogate Town have had this season. A real struggling season compared to what everyone were anticipating from them. Bookies' favourites at the beginning of the term, and yet here they are, and they've been back-to-back disappointing defeat on Saturday, knocked out of the trophy. They've shipped 7 goals in 2 games without reply.
Yeah, I think when you look at their squad on paper, you'd have to say that they'd be one of the favourites to be going up. The talent they've got, and it just hasn't worked for them. And I think a Harrogate Town fan was telling me that it's 10 goals they've conceded without scoring since they last scored. So, I mean, they're a team that seem to be on the down, but, you know, I think it's one of them games, the players, it's a big local derby, they'll get themselves up for this, and this can be the game where they turn their season round, so guys, they'll have to be on the game.
And that's always the worry, isn't it? That's as you say, this is the fixture that they pick out the time to put in the performances that, you know, are akin to the promotion contending side that they should be, given the quality players that they have in this squad.
Yeah, I think they've got a squad that can get goals. You know, they've got league players. There are players in this team that could be playing in League 2, in my opinion, and that just hasn't been working for them. But a guy called James Walshaw, we know a lot about him, and even though Harrogate are struggling, he's still getting the odd goal, and, you know, you wouldn't put it past him getting a couple today, hopefully not, but he has got the quality to do so.
It's always a concern, isn't it? Well, we hope you enjoy our coverage this afternoon. If you're not able to get down here to Wetherby Road, the CNG Stadium, where Guiseley are playing Harrogate Town in what will promise to be a very interesting and tough afternoon for both sides. But for the Lions, we had a good result on Saturday against Leamington, a 1-0, a vital victory. And Tom caught up after the game with Wayne Brooksby.
Wayne Brooksby after the 1-0 win over Leamington. Wayne, it was a tough game, but we've got the 3 points.
Yeah, it was a tough game. Good enough to get the 3 points, like you say. They sat back and tried to put all the man behind them, and luckily we came out with the 3 points.
It was a very good goal, a very good team goal in the end by Gavin Rothey. Fantastic play by Andy Holdsworth as well. You must be looking forward to playing with them sort of players.
Yeah, it's a joy to play with players like that. Andy Holdsworth overlapping me a lot, which is unlike him today. So yeah, it was a good performance from them too, and a well-worked goal.
Do you feel we were a little bit unlucky not to get a second goal, because we had a couple of chances? Andy Holdsworth with a fantastic effort, that free kick which smacked off the bar. We had a couple of other chances as well.
Yeah, well, we were unlucky not to be leading at the break, really. We've had a few good chances in the first half, and we're frustrated not to be going up in the first half and coming out the second half and going on and enjoying the game. Whereas towards the end we sort of put a little bit of pressure on it. There was only 1-0 and they sort of lumped it forward. But luckily we held out and got the 3 points, defended very well.
We're putting a bit of pressure on the teams above us. We've got a couple of really tough games coming up though. 2 games against Harrogate Town. What are your thoughts on Harrogate first of all?
Well, struggling a bit at the minute. I think they lost again today, but we've got to go in with the right attitude and go and win the games. So we are hoping to win every game over the Christmas break, and hope that other teams drop points.
Thanks, Wayne.
Well, that was Wayne Brooksby there speaking to Tom Feeney at the end of the game against Leamington last Saturday, and he pointed out that they've got to be in the right attitude for this game this afternoon, Tom.
Yeah, definitely. I've just got to say as well, a little side note, that you may have heard a couple of giggles during that interview. That's because Mark Bow was behind me, mate, pulling a load of faces, really trying to put Wayne off. But I think it just shows the togetherness and team spirit that Mark's created at the club. After the game, I also spoke to Danny Lowe, And he was just saying how refreshing it's been for him to be in a position where even when they're losing games, Mark's getting the lads smiling, even when the results and the performances haven't been going their way. And it's just paying dividends at the moment. Third in the league, go on a good run now and you can be top. So hopefully that good team spirit will get us through there.
So let's just quickly go through those team lineups for this afternoon's game here in the Vanarama Conference North. First of all, Harrogate Town, Phil Barnes in goal, Matt Bloomer, Craig Nelthorpe, Adam Nowakowski, Luke Shields, David McKirk, Lloyd Kerry, Ryan Fallowfield, Paul Clayton, who's just signed on loan from Alfreton, James Walshaw and Louis Swain. So plenty of former Guiseley men in that side as well. You know, Wally Swain have all had time at the club. Jake Spate on the bench, Peter Crook, substitute goalkeeper, Dominic Rowe, Jordan Thulis and Rhys Maynell. Thulis, I think, came from Goole, hasn't he? He's a recent signing, so he'll be looking to make an impression this afternoon as well if he gets on. Rhys, of course, another former Guiseley man there. So it's a strong lineup, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, definitely. I think, again, it's on paper, you'd say this is a fantastic team. I look at Luke Shields, who's actually come up a division, and he was really a real standout player the last couple of years he's been playing, and I thought Harrogate Town did really well to get him in. He's a very good centre-back, and he's someone who will, he'll offer something a little bit different for Harrogate Town, so something maybe Guiseley will have to look out for. But Paul Clayton, I always say you have to look at the fans' reaction to a player leaving, and the Alfreton Town fans, I've looked on their forum, they were fuming that he'd left. They said that he could have been their difference maker this season. So, it has to be seen as a positive for Harrogate Town. He's someone who can partner with Wally and offer something a little bit different as well. And Louis Swain, he impressed me at Guiseley. He always had a very good attitude, very good work rate, and it looks like that front three will be causing problems for the Lions today.
Yeah, and of course, remember Louis Swain scoring that goal, didn't we, against Barrow, wasn't it?
It was the last minute.
The last minute, 2-1. Of course, they go to Barrow on Saturday, and hopefully he might be able to pop up and do the same again there on Saturday.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Not much from him this afternoon would be pretty much appreciated. Let's just go down this Guiseley lineup. You can probably hear the rather well-appointed tannoy behind us is currently talking through the first 11. Stephen Drench is in goal for Guiseley. Andy Holdsworth still at right back after Ryan Tulson's injury in the game against Chorley. Ben Parker is captain today, so returns to left back. Danny Lowe and Danny Ellis, centre half pairing. Jake Lawler, Danny Boschel, Wayne Brooksby, Adam Boys, Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boschel, Adam Boys, Ollie Johnson and Gavin Rothey. New signing Jordan Hendry, who signed this week, of course, son of John Hendry, and a very interesting 18-year-old defender, valuable addition to the squad, I'm sure. Steve Dickinson, Nicky Boschel, Jack Stockdale and Alex Johnson. Adam Boy's playing his last game, isn't he, Tom, before he'll have to serve that suspension? Yeah,
and it'll obviously be a big loss not being able to play for the rest of 2014. But I think with Alex Johnson, it looks like he's finally got to full fitness, so he'll be ready to step in on Sunday for that big game against Fylde.
One man who isn't in the starting 11 and someone who has been making his way back into recovery is Danny Hall. And Danny Hall has managed to catch up with Tom Feeney ahead of this game. And here's what he had to say.
Tom Feeney with Danny Hall. And Danny, you've not played a game yet this season, but you're starting training. How are you feeling at the minute?
Well, yeah, not training, but running wise, I'm not involved in full sessions yet with the lads, but I've over maybe the last 3-4 weeks I've stepped up quite a bit, and I'm actually ready now to start full-time training. So it's, obviously with all the games at the moment, there's not that much training, so that's not coming at the best of times. But yeah, I'm 100% now with my leg. I'm completely over the break. Touch wood. It's just getting myself fit again now. That's obviously the next big challenge. Just
how good does it feel to be finally putting the boots back on and getting just a bit of training done?
Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it was 3 weeks ago when I went out for my first running session. I probably did a bit more than I should because I was that excited to get out there, you know what I mean, and just actually do a bit of exercise kind of thing. But yeah, it's brilliant to finally see a bit of progress, because we're talking from 3 weeks after doing it initially, I was walking on it and obviously in a lot of pain, but it's been a strange injury because for a couple of months now it's felt fine because I've obviously not putting stress through it, or I'm not testing it as much as I would do in a game. So it's just been mentally strange knowing that I can't do anything but feeling fine within myself. So it's brilliant to get up and do a bit of exercise again, yeah, and I'm enjoying being back around lads again, so it's all good, yes.
When do you think your comeback will be? Have you got a date in mind, or is it just going to be playing it by ear?
No, I mean there's no date in mind. I mean it's it's never going to be as simple as you're fully fit, there you go and play, because you're a good team in guys, we've got a good squad, a great squad with many options for the manager, so it's my only concern is getting myself fit, and that's going well at the moment, so I'm more than happy.
How do you think the lads are doing? Going well so far?
Yeah, it's been very good, yeah. I mean, up in third, we've not really, I think every lad will tell you, especially the manager, that we've not really clicked into top gear yet, so it's a good sign that we're third and we're still right in amongst it. So, I mean, you think to this time last year, we was round near the bottom of the league, so we ended up where we did, so we're still in with the hunt for that first place, and the lads have every belief we can get there, so we're in a good position at the moment in third.
And finally, what is your score prediction for today's game?
Well, it's one of them. If we get an early goal, it could be a really good afternoon for us, and it could be a 3 or 4. But I mean, it's a tricky one because Harrogate have got the type of players where they can give you a real hard afternoon. They're obviously having a tough time themselves, so it's a tricky one to call. But I think we're playing some good stuff at the moment, so I think we'll do all right. I think we'll win 3 goals. Go 4-1. I'll go.
That'll do nicely.
Cheers, pal.
Well, that was Danny Hall talking to Tom Feeney. And he's confident this afternoon, isn't it? Great to hear him, though. Good interview, Tom, because it was great to hear him making his way back to full fitness.
Yeah, I think he's somebody. I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago when he just started running again, and he's got so much passion for playing football. And I mean, he turned down offers at a couple of clubs that were higher, in the conference, and I think there might have even been one in League Two in the summer. And he was just saying how much he enjoyed Guiseley last season and how he felt we really gave him a chance and he wanted to repay us. He then gets that injury and everyone feels so bad for him. But, you've got to say, someone like him in the dressing room, it's just great to have a great personality, a good character, and also a very good footballer who we've missed a little bit, I feel, although Shane Killick's done a fantastic job. But if his loan spell does come to an end, you've got a great replacement there.
Yeah, never in the offing was Shane Killick this afternoon to play because, of course, he was suspended following his sending off at Stockport. Equally, he wouldn't have been allowed to play due to the terms of the loan deal that he has with Harrogate Town anyway. So we don't know quite where that's going to go. Danny Hall's obviously coming back into contention. Like he says, he can't put a fixed date on the end of that. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see just how that pans out. But guys, he well appointed actually in terms of the back four at the moment. Ben Parker left at back but can play in centre half. Danny Lowe and Danny Ellis both been solid last week. Now, just beforehand, we've got a new addition to this ground since we came here last, and that's the stand away to our right, a covered terrace, which means we've got covered terracing on 4 areas of this ground, something that we want to do. And one of the things we decided to do was have a quick chat, and Tom had a catch-up with AD Towers regarding the latest on the planning application.
Tom Feeney with AD Towers, and AD, we're at a very nice stadium, the CNG. They've made some improvements, guys. Of course, we're trying to make some. Yeah. What is the update at the minute?
Well, we've had to do some additional work on the traffic planning following the surveys that we did. Some additional work with highways, which has actually gone well, and they seem now satisfied with what we're proposing. Some additional work to do on tree replacement and landscaping. The paperwork's all gone into the council now, so we're hoping that the 15th of January date, which is the next panel date, will be the date when we go to panel.
So if it was accepted on the 15th of January, then would that mean work can start immediately?
There are usually, and I know more about this than I ever wanted to, but there are usually conditions in terms of the build commencement and other things. But to be fair, the planning people have been very helpful, so we would certainly be looking to start very soon afterwards. Yeah. And
then would the plan be that it'd be ready for the start of next season?
I think certainly elements of it would be that we would start at the railway end, which is to create a 1,700 capacity, effectively away end if we need to segregate, and then we'd be working on the community building after that, and then building the other 2 sides sort of on a rolling basis. So we'd certainly be very, very well advanced with it, yes.
So in terms of on the pitch, just what have you made of this season so far for the Lions?
I think if you'd offered us 41 points from 21 games at Christmas, we'd have said that was on target. We've had ups and downs. I mean, I think the two Gloucester and Gainsborough home games were a wake-up call, but we came through those very well. Very unlucky twice against Barrow. I think, in fairness, even the Barrow manager thought we were very unlucky twice against Barrow. So no, the season's gone well, and I think you have to also bear in mind that we've a small squad. We've had serious injuries to Danny Lowe, to Ryan Tilson, to Danny Hall. And I think given that, we've done well to be where we are. It is classically and cliche-ridden long season though, so I think the next few days will be very important because it's a big ask for part-timers to play this number of games in a few days.
Well, thank you, Aidy.
So Eddie Towers there speaking to Tom Feeney just ahead of this game here at the CNG Stadium in Harrogate, where the Lions take on Harrogate Town in a Boxing Day derby. It's the best game of the year, isn't it? It always is, the Boxing Day match, no matter where you're playing, who you're playing. It's always got a little bit of a special feel, and that's what we've got this afternoon.
Yeah, always a great atmosphere. I think this game especially, this is a game that this has been my game of choice even before I was at Guiseley, because I've been a fan of the club for quite a while, and it is just a great atmosphere. Already the stadium's filled up nicely, and nice atmosphere, and hopefully a nice result as well. That'll do as well going into them big games coming up for the rest of the season.
Well, the two teams have now come out. They're just shaking hands in front of us here in the main stand. We'll be keeping you up to date with all of the scores from the Vanarama Conference and Conference North this afternoon, as well as following some local league sides, as well as bringing you live match commentary of this game. Just chance now for us to go through the starting lineups of both sides. First, the home side, Harrogate Town. They line up with Phil Barnes in goal, Matt Bloomer, Craig Nelthorpe, Adam Nowakowski, Luke Shields, David McGurk, Lloyd Kerry, Ryan Fallowfield, Paul Clayton, James Walshaw and Louis Swain. On the bench, Jake Spate, Peter Cook, Dominic Rowe, Jordan Thulis and Rhys Maynell. And for the Lions, it's Stephen Drench in goal, Andy Holdsworth, Ben Parker, Danny Lowe, Danny Ellis, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boschel, Adam Boys, Ollie Johnson and Gavin Rothey. And on the bench, new signing Jordan Hendry, Steve Dickinson, Nicky Boschel, Jack Stockdill and Alex Johnson. Guiseley are away to our left at the moment, just waiting to go through the coin toss. Today's officials, Mr. Richardson, Emma Sims and Mr. Hawksby. Elizabeth Sims and Mr. Hawksby are the final officials. We are waiting just to find out whether Guiseley will play from left to right. Strong lineups again from both sides, as we've been talking about in the build-up, Tom. And Guiseley need to get off to a good start in this game, hit the ground running, don't they?
Yeah, I think it's just one of them games with Harrogate where you feel if they got an early goal, it'd give them that confidence boost that they desperately need, and then maybe they would go on and get the win. So for guys, it's just trying to be compact for the first 5-10 minutes, maybe trying to catch Harrogate on the break, and getting an opening goal as well during that time would be a big bonus for the squad. But yeah, it's one of these games where it's so hard to call with such a good atmosphere. All the players really do look up for it, and hopefully it's going to be an attacking game of football and an entertaining one to call as well.
Well, David Richardson, today's referee, getting ready to get us underway. Harrogate Town kicking from right to left. We'll have the kick-off. Playing in yellow shirts with black stripes down the front, black shorts and black socks. And Guiseley playing from left to right in their usual home kit, and immediately Harrogate Town are on the attack. They've thrown the ball forward towards Paul Clayton, the new signing, and no sooner have they done so that Harrogate Town have lost the ball, and Guiseley have a throw-in in left-back position. Just remind you, if you are tuning from afar, we always appreciate your feedback. You can tweet us at Guiseley Radio. It's our Twitter feed. And we'd like to wish our listener a very happy Christmas and hope you've had a good one. We'll refrain from using your name. Guiseley now are on the ball here with Danny Boschel. Boschel out to the right-hand side where Andy Holdsworth at right back comes over the halfway line. Gives the ball short to Wayne Brooksby. He has a lot of work to do because James Walshaw, not surprisingly, up for this game, is closing him down. The ball forward from the Lions into the feet of defender Adam Nowakowski. And he plays the ball forward into Guiseley territory. It's a bit scrappy at the moment. Gavin Rothey lunging to make a good connection on the ball to win the ball back, but Nowakowski wins it, gives it to McGurk. McGurk sends it down the right flank. Harrogate Town have Walshaw in the area if he can be found, but Danny Ellis is ahead of him and clears well. And up to the halfway line. Now Jake Lawler, a little chip forward to Ollie Johnson on the halfway line. Ollie Johnson with three players around him. Gives it to Rothery, who scoops it into the sky, and it's headed away by Shields. Luke Shields, though, gives it to Ollie Johnson, but good work comes in there from McGurk, the captain for Harrogate Town, who puts a strong challenge in. And then Harrogate come forward again, looking for Clayton. Danny Boschel puts a good foot in to get it away, and then the return to Clayton, flicked on by the Alfreton man who's here on loan. and goes straight to Stephen Drench. His distribution's good. Wayne Brooksby on the ball, skips past Lloyd Kerry, and plays the ball into Andy Holdsworth. Boschel forward, good ball over the top here, one for Wayne Brooksby to run onto, just picks up a bit of speed on the ground and takes the ball takes itself out into touch. But an interesting start for both these sides, Tom.
Yeah, positive by both teams. I think Harrogate Town are in a really good position about 10 seconds in, and it's just a misplaced pass. Ball goes out for a frame when, if they'd have found their man, they'd have had a real chance. But good play by Wayne Brooksby for Guiseley. Nice little run, gets into the right half, and then it just all peters away a little bit. But it's good to see two sides both going for it so early on.
And Guiseley have a throw in now in their own right back position. Just like I say, we'll bring you all these scorelines from the Vanarama Conference and Vanarama Conference North. A couple of league games and the first couple of final scores, because early kickoffs in the conference. Aldershot 1, Barnet 3. Finished Forest Green 2, Kidderminster 3 as well. So goals plenty around on Boxing Day, as you always hope for. Header away from Danny Ellis, picked up here by Kerry, and he plays it forward towards Clayton. Good recovery from Lowe. But Harrogate Town still have the ball here with Nelthorpe. Cross goes in towards the edge of the D. Rotherham can't clear his lines well enough. Danny Boschel's there just to put a calm foot on it. Give it to Ollie Johnson. Brooksby keeps the ball moving. Finds Andy Holdsworth, who plays it long towards Adam Boyes. Nod down from Boyes. He claims he was tugged at by David McGurk, and in the end it's gone out for a throw-in for Harrogate.
I think that's one of them, six of one, half a dozen of another, because both are going for each other. Boyce does well to get his head onto it, and if he'd have found Johnson, Ollie would have been in a really good position to run into the area. Just a little bit too much on it. Ball goes out for a throw.
Now Danny Boschel's on the ball. He's skipped past one, gives it to Adam Boyes. He's closed down, Wayne Brooksby rather, closed down excellently by Lloyd Kerry.
Got to say, that were a fantastic tackle.
Out for a throw though for Harrogate. Inside the Harrogate half for Guiseley, rather, and then Danny Ellis's ball forward. It's rather wayward and it's gone behind for a goal kick. Early doors though, looking at Wally there, he's looking completely, motivated for this game, isn't he? It reminds me a bit of the way, just the look of the Altrincham game in that conference final. He does want to prove a point, doesn't he? Yeah,
I think the only thing is he's done quite well for Harrogate. He's had a couple of injuries, and that's why he hasn't been getting as many goals as maybe he'd like to. But seems like ever since he left Guiseley that second time, he really does every game. He looks so up for it, and some of the runs he's been making so far, running about 30 yards the wrong way just to help his team out. I mean, for a Harrogate Town perspective, that can only be seen as a positive.
Holdsworth with a throw. Inside his own half, up towards Boyes, flicks over him, taken down now by Brooksby on the right-hand flank, closed down by McGurk. Brooksby tries to work his way behind him, and it's gone beyond and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, well, just a little negative there for Guiseley, just the pass, it's a little bit misplaced, goes out for a goal kick, and it's a shame that for Guiseley, because again, the players are in the right position. Players like Gavin Rothey, Adam Boyes, Ollie Johnson getting into them correct positions, getting into the area, really putting the Harrogate Town defence under pressure. Just that final pass at the minute, it's just not going their way.
Kerry on the ball for Town. Long one forward down the right-hand flank. It's a good one as well that Bloomer comes forward, collects with, gets it into the area, headed away by Danny Lowe. Only as far now as Fallowfield. His chip into the box, cut out again by Danny Lowe. Lowe makes a long clearance up to the halfway line. McGurk towers above Boyes. Wins that header rather comprehensively. And it's out for another Harrogate Town throw. Inside the Guiseley half, about level with the centre circle on the right-hand side. We've just got a stoppage at the moment, and it looks like a boot has come missing. Paul Clayton's boot's come off. He's got to do his laces. This is the point usually where there's a rather hopeless gag about, does he need some help with that?
Oh, the Guiseley fans, did they hear that joke?
Yeah, they did, yeah, that's how good it is. It was so good that they laughed behind away to our right. Let's give you some latest scores in the Vanarama Conference. Macclesfield 0, Grimsby 1, Nuneaton 0, Telford 1. Steve Kittrick's Telford, which we didn't mention in the build-up today. Of course, good luck to Kitty. Yeah,
good luck to him. Did a really good job at Guiseley, and was, someone who was very nice to us lot. Always free to talk, and it'd be nice to see us play them in the conference next year. if they can stay up and we can go up, that'd be very nice indeed.
He's got a big task, and it's a good start for him anyway. 1-0 up at Nuneaton, Woking 1-0 up at Eastleigh, and Lincoln 1-0 up against Paul Clayton's former side, or current side, he's on loan from. 1-0 for Lincoln against Alfreton. Stephen Dredge has got a free kick actually in left back position. Guiseley have been comfortable in dealing with the throw-in. Whilst we were rabbiting on, there was not much happening. Nodded on by Danny Lowe, up into the air now. Ollie Johnson gets a good connection, and the boys can't nod it on back towards OJ, and Guiseley now have to defend. But Jake Lawler does manfully well in the middle of the park. Steps across, puts a good foot back onto Stephen Drench, who in turn clears up towards Ollie Johnson. It's a very physical game so far in that Guiseley have been closed down well by Harrogate, and there's a very firm challenge comes in there from Luke Shields on Gavin Rothey. Rothey looked for a moment like he might just respond or react to that. In the end, Guiseley keep going. Brooksby's taken down here by Nelthorpe, and you can see, I think the instruction seems to be for Harrogate just to rattle us, to get the foot in, just to not give us any time, close down sharp, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's not just James Walshaw doing that. All the players, every time a Guiseley player gets on the ball, they're straight in their faces, trying to get it back. James Walshaw, though, is barking the orders. He's really getting his teammates to focus for this free kick.
Holdsworth now with the free kick for Guiseley, just a few yards in from the halfway line. Floats it in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Up is Jake Lawley. He doesn't get there. Headed away well as Harrogate defend stoutly. Guiseley will have a throw-in on the right-hand side, which Wayne Brooksby looks to take and actually holds up and gives to Andy Holdsworth. Short to Ollie Johnson, back to Holdsworth. Good ball in here to find Danny Boschel. Floating cross towards Adam Boys. It just goes ahead of the Guiseley striker, and in the end it's going to be cleared, and Harrogate Town get it up towards the halfway line. Can't actually keep it in touch on the right touchline. It's going to be a Guiseley throw. Well,
just for a second, that lofted ball in, it looked like Adam Boys was going to be planting his head onto that. Just a little bit too much on it, though. It goes over him, but Guiseley get possession back.
They were some frustrations talking to Harrogate Town fans about the way that they've conceded goals. I say from daft positions, and from a throw-in on the right. Probably weren't too pleased the way that Guiseley created that chance, and they've got another one building up here until Wayne Brooksby, who appears to have been pulled down, gets back to his feet, and Ollie Johnson was looking to get on the end of a pass and couldn't control, and now Town come away well with the ball, and there's a heavy challenge in there from Andy Holdsworth to take down Kerry, and quite rightly Harrogate have a free kick here about midway through the Guiseley half, just a few yards in from the touchline here on the left-hand side.
I think that's the sign of how this game is going to be. Physical throughout the opening couple of minutes. Tackle there by Holdsworth, doesn't get the ball, gets the man, clear free kick.
Free kick floated in by Kerry, headed away by Danny Boschel on his knees. Ollie Johnson gets in a bit of a pickle on the edge of the area. It's let the ball go through to Lloyd Kerry. His shot, though, takes a deflection and falls kindly for Stephen Drench to claim. But Ollie Johnson won't be too happy. Won't want to see that one back on the video, I'm sure. Rolled out by Drench, given to Lowe. Lowe tries to play it down the right flank and hits touch with the ball. A couple of the goals in the conference. Bristol Rovers take the lead at Torquay. Dartford 0, Braintree 1. Gloucester 0, Brackley 1 in the Panorama Conference North. So a good lead for Brackley. I'm sure Bradford Park Avenue, if their game is going ahead this afternoon, will be watching that. Not quite sure if we've seen if there are any postponements yet. Guys, they just win a free kick actually, as eventually the throw-in comes in from Harrogate, and it's a rather cheap one to concede, and guys will have a free kick comfortably in their own half.
Yeah, just looked like Harrogate there, just trying to build a bit of momentum, and it's just such a silly little free kick. It breaks up play for Harrogate, gives Guiseley the ball back, and Guiseley will take that all day long, because just the opening couple of minutes, it looked like Harrogate were in the ascendancy. Now they've given this free kick away. Can Guiseley take advantage?
Long one forward towards the edge of the D. Headed away by Harrogate, picked up by Ollie Johnson. Held on to the ball perhaps a little too long. Was cleared by McGurk, who's a very fierce, powerful centre-half. Good tackle comes in as well on Ollie Johnson, but Guiseley still have the ball until Ben Parker skies the ball. And he's got a smile on his face because it was You won't see many worse crosses than that. It's skied over the stand away to our right-hand side and behind.
Well, at least
for a
he's
goal
not our striker, because that was just terrible. I think it's actually left the stadium. It was horrible. The good thing with Ben, though, is he can laugh at his own mistakes, and there he had a big smile on his face, because if Michael's filming this game, that could definitely be going on Soccer M for a horrible cross.
Still. We had a couple of showboat moments I noticed last week. I was looking forward to seeing the footage back of that, because there was a couple of some lovely moments where I think he put a little back heel, didn't he, in the corner flag. It was a super one, took it through 2 defenders to clear, so it can be at both ends of that spectrum. Harrogate now have the ball. They've managed to work it into the penalty area. Danny Lowe has to take it away from Louis Swain. Clears up to the halfway line. It'll be another Harrogate throw. Plenty of goals going in the Vanarama Conference North, actually, early doors. There's one for Boston United as well. Lead Lowestoft by 1-0. Gateshead 0, Halifax 1 in the conference. And Leeds 0, Wigan 1 in the championship. So Leeds, one of the sides we'll keep you up to speed with this afternoon. Guiseley, meanwhile, are 0-0 here. Harrogate's throw has just tamely gone out of play, and Guiseley have recovered possession. Stephen Drench, currently out of his goal in right back, plays it long towards Adam Boyd, headed away powerfully again, and Holdsworth into the chest of Brooksby. Walshaw back, working hard, wins it back, takes it down inside his own half, lays it square here to Fallowfield. Fallowfield out to the right-hand side to Louis Swain. And the ball goes back. Nowakowski puts his foot through it. It's intercepted by Jake Lawler, but one back, and now Guiseley have a bit of defending to do. Walshaw skips through past Andy Holdsworth, is clipped by Holdsworth. Walshaw claims Guiseley have conceded the free kick right on the edge of the D, and that's what he can offer you. James Walshaw just gets the first touch, took it past Andy Holdsworth, and I think the referee might even be putting the Guiseley man into the book there. Andy Holdsworth, yes, will indeed be the first player to go into the book this afternoon for that free kick, and this is dangerous position now. Dangerous times this for Guiseley.
Yeah, definitely. Louis Swain does well, gets the ball back, finds Walshaw, who just does a quick step over, gets past Holdsworth, and Holdsworth's got no choice but to take him down. Holdsworth not too happy about the yellow card, but this is a free kick in a great position. It's
central. It's literally on the edge of the D, literally on the line of the D, almost level as an angle with the penalty spot directly in front of the goal. Guiseley have a 6-man wall. Harrogate have 2 or 3 players around the edge of the penalty area, in line with the wall, looking to pounce on anything. It's blasted in by Walshaw, saved by Stephen Drench. And back here now with Bloomer. Bloomer tries to get the cross in. Danny Ellis makes the connection, and Guiseley have just kept that one out with a superb save from Stephen Drench, and a great free kick as well from Walshaw.
Well, Walshaw definitely looks up for this game, because he hits that free kick and he thinks it's gone in, and he basically punches the air thinking it's gone in, and when he sees it hasn't, he looks quite frustrated, because it's a good save by Drench, really good free kick by Wally, and yeah, it looks like the battle between Wally and Ollie will be going on today.
Oh, Wally. Oh, I'll give you that one. Hey, you'll make a sun head right here yet. Guiseley now have the ball inside the own half. Gavin Rothey takes a little knock, and Guiseley win a free kick. It's about level with the centre circle. Chance to relieve the pressure after that great free kick and super save from Stephen Drench. It's a chance now that Drench will come all the way out of the area. Another surprising scoreline in the Vanarama Conference North, but we'll just wait, because we've got a free kick here. Stephen Drench will take, drills it forward, headed away, and now it's a chance for a Harrogate Town counter-attack, and Drench is still out of his goal, and here comes Louis Swain down the right-hand side. Superb tackle comes in from Danny Lowe to prevent Louis Swain going any further, and Swain was making good headway down that right flank, but Lowe with a brilliant timed challenge saves Harrogate's blushes from what was originally a free kick in our favour, and Harrogate forced to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. No player seems to be able to get hold of the ball for Guiseley at the moment. Now one over the top, looking for Clayton. Andy Holdsworth watches that one out. Good clearance from the edge of the area, but again, Town look very bright, very lively, full of energy. And Clayton now down this left-hand flank tries to go past Holdsworth. A good touch from Holdsworth. And it's out for a throw-in for Harrogate Town. Breathless start to this game, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, and it's because Harrogate Town, every time the ball goes out, they want it back out in as soon as possible, and Guiseley are following suit, so both teams are going for it. This is non-stop at the minute.
Oh, and then just as you say that, there's a rather tame slip from Nelthorpe, and Guiseley have had a bit of a respite there because Nelthorpe was about to line up the cross, missed the ball altogether, and it's gone out for a throw-in. A couple of scorelines I was just going to bring you. First in the Vanarama Conference, Gateshead 1, Halifax 1, a leveller there for Gateshead. Solihull 0, Tamworth 1. Tamworth, of course, beat Harrogate Town on Saturday 3-0. Gainsborough 1, North Ferriby 0. And Stockport 0, Colwyn Bay 1. Adam Boys looks like he's just been bundled in the back, but nothing given from the referee today. And then the ball goes forward and almost finds its way through to Louis Swain. Danny Lowe manages to get the kind bounce off the ball and clears for Guiseley, but all that came from Guiseley protesting originally at a free kick that they felt they should have had on Adam Boys. Now Ollie Johnson takes over inside the Guiseley half, and he skips down this right-hand flank, surges forward now. Ollie Johnson, 5 players around him, keeps going. He keeps on the ball, plays it infield now to Danny Boschel. Boschel helps it to the left-hand side. Gavin Rothey, bit of a chase to keep this one in play, but goes towards the byline. Gavin Rothey gets the cross, headed away. Guiseley eventually find that the attacking move is repelled, but it was a good move there. And Ollie Johnson, with lots of improvisation, had 5 players around him and had the ball made better from Danny Boschel too, Gavin Rothey. I think we could have been even through with a clearer sight of goal there, Tom.
Yeah, and I think it's just because Ollie's caught the Harrogate defence out. He beats 5 men, keeps ball, finds Danny Boschel, whose pass just has too much on it. Like you said, if the pass were a little bit better, Gavin Rothey would have had basically about 10 yards of free space in the penalty area, and Adam Boys looked free in the area, but by the time Rothey got the ball back, Boys was being marked out and Harrogate cleared.
Still forward though for Guiseley, up towards Adam Boys. He heads it down, tries to find Wayne Brooksby. Harrogate defend and clear their lines, and now try to come down the right-hand flank, or left-hand flank rather, as they attack the goal, but Clayton's ball forward is cut out. Danny Boschel takes over for the Lions, into the feet of Ollie Johnson. He spins on the ball but can't control it, and that will be McGurk's chance to put his foot onto the ball, and Harrogate play it long again, chested down here by Andy Holdsworth, and James Walshaw will be pulled up for going through on Wayne Brooksby, the little nudge. And guys who win the free kick just inside the Harrogate Town half. Walshaw just getting up the shirt of Andy Holdsworth there. The ball forward towards Adam Boys. Admirably defending. Ollie Johnson closes the goalkeeper down, who just held onto the ball there. Phil Barnes seemed to take an age to clear, and Ollie Johnson kept his run going and almost capitalised. Barnes manages to clear. And Guiseley have the throw, but that was a great chance there. From a ridiculous position, really. Well,
the goalkeeper just held his nerve and just kept on to it. Ollie Johnson was running at a really good pace, and I think the goalkeeper was just caught out a little bit. He didn't think anyone would be showing that work rate to try and get the ball off him. But Ollie Johnson, if he'd got his foot onto that'd be 1-0, because he was about a yard out and an open goal. But the ball just passed him, and Harrogate have got away with one there.
Leamington 1. Oxford City 0 in the Vanarama Conference North. Eastleigh 1, Woking 1 now. Eastleigh equalising in the conference. And Boston United 2-0 up now at home to Lowestoft. No goals here as Harrogate Town and Guiseley are locked in this Boxing Day derby at the CNG. And Harrogate Town look like they want to make break the deadlock there, with Kerry playing the ball towards Clayton on the edge of the D. But Guiseley clear the lines. And in the end, Ollie Johnson is fouled, and it's a free kick for Harrogate.
Again, Harrogate, they haven't helped themselves, because
guys even. Sorry.
Harrogate, they get in a good position. It looks like they're getting men forward, bit of momentum, and then they just give away another little silly free kick, and it stops the momentum, and Guiseley are going to be able to clear it again.
So, scoreless, 21 minutes gone. The Lions are currently drawing here at Harrogate Town. But, we're early stages of this game. It's been pretty frenetic stuff. Thanks for all your tweets. We'll be very grateful for them. And at the moment, though, Harrogate Town are just coming forward at the moment. James Walshaw down the left flank on the edge of the penalty area now, having a little run into the area. Just slips at the vital time Guys, he get a foot in and clear, and now Wayne Brooksby down the right-hand flank. Comes forward, goes to ground, is tackled well, though, by Fallowfield, and then eventually, even though Phil Barnes again is just holding on to the ball, Harrogate, clear their lines. Danny Ellis now gets a good one forward here, ball towards Ollie Johnson. He took it down in his chest, couldn't complete the clearance, but couldn't complete the move, and anyway, it's gone back up towards the Guiseley end, where Danny Ellis has taken a nudge in the back. Free kick to the Lions, taken short. Danny Boschel infield here to Wayne Brooksby. Guiseley trying to start a bit of a pass and move game going, which hasn't been easy to do against a very energetic Harrogate Town side. And again, the pass there from Danny Lowe isn't what he wanted. Ben Parker admirably chases after it, but it's well defended and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, just a shame that pass hasn't got enough on it, because Ben Parker's in a good position making that attacking run from fullback. And again, just both sides, they're doing really well in the midfield role. Just getting into that final third, that little bit of quality is just lacking at the minute. But gotta say, to be 20 minutes in and it to be 0-0 still, but it's been a fantastic game. Both sides, plenty of attacking intent throughout. Now
Walshaw on the ball, plays it back towards the oncoming Craig Nelthorpe. He does well to keep it in, actually, because it was a bit of a loose ball from Walshaw. It's gone all the way back, in fact, to Shields, who lays it back to the goalkeeper, Barnes. He puts his foot through it. It goes long, headed on by Clayton. Down here now to Kerry. Harrogate still keep the ball moving inside the Guiseley half. Navakowski down the right flank towards Clayton. Clayton takes it down well on the chest, lays it in towards Swain. Swain wins the ball with a lunging challenge. Kerry gets a drive away that takes a deflection, and then it's an ambitious sort of strike. I think it was Louis Swain, wasn't it, in the end, who took one from distance, and it's beyond the goal and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, I just think with Louis, he has a look up, and there are a couple of players around him, a couple of good options as well, and he goes for glory. If he'd have scored, that would have been a marvellous goal, but in the end, it's good 5-6 yards wide, and again, it's just stopping the momentum that Harrogate are building. They're getting in good positions and either giving free kicks away or wasting the chances. And for guys, they're going to have to try and take advantage of when they get the ball back, because Harrogate are pushing forward at the minute.
Well, he's been picked up by Guiseley fans all over the world in recent weeks. What was Rio de Janeiro, Lisbon, wasn't it, the other day? Now it's Fuerteventura. So thanks, Simon Shaw. Glad you're enjoying the coverage. Nice to think we're coming through loud and clear there. Still scoreless, though. Guiseley, in the meanwhile, the Lions, meanwhile, having to defend. Sorry, Harrogate having to defend on the edge of their own unit. I think I've had too much Christmas beer over the period.
You clearly enjoyed yesterday.
Yeah. Harrogate come forward down the right-hand side, now looking for Clayton. It's gone beyond him, but he's put in a challenge to try and win the ball back off Danny Lowe, and in doing so has won Harrogate Town a corner on the right-hand side. Good industry. And Guiseley now have to defend a corner that they probably should have defended and prevented in the first place.
Really good play there by Clayton, because it looked like the ball was going out of play and that had been it. Guiseley would get the goal kick, but Clayton didn't give in. Does really well, gets his foot on it, makes sure it hits off Danny Lowe, gets the corner.
Corner to come in from the right-hand side as Harrogate Town attack this goal. Floated in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It was a home head that made connection, but it didn't go towards a goal. Guiseley clear up to the halfway line, but the second phase with the home side, and Shields plays the ball back in towards the penalty area, but it's just beyond the attacking players. And uncharacteristically, Stephen Drench and Andy Holdsworth have got their lines mixed up, and it's a throw into Harrogate Town on the halfway line, and Holdsworth shows his frustration to the goalkeeper. That is rather frustrating, isn't it, indeed? A throw into Harrogate, needlessly given away on two moments there where Guiseley perhaps should have done better.
Well, it's just the position that Holdsworth was in. If he gets the ball, he's basically got a line to run down, because Harrogate have got 2 or 3 players forward at that point. And Holdsworth, it's just frustrating because they get a throw in Harrogate when they could be defending a very dangerous move. Instead, they get the throw.
Guiseley defend the throw well, actually. Get it up to the halfway line. Ollie Johnson now chasing with 2 players around him. Good footwork, though, from Ollie Johnson. Lays it infield here to Gavin Rothey. Rothey threads it towards Adam Boyes. Boyes is onside, takes a shot. Wasn't a shot with the connection he probably would have hoped for. The flag stayed down, but it was a simple save in the end for Phil Barnes. It's a bright counter-attacking move there from the Lions.
Well, I think what didn't help well there was Adam Boyes actually looks at the linesman when he got the ball. He thought he was offside. He notices he isn't, and then he's got two Harrogate Town defenders near him, so he just has to quickly get a shot away. If he'd have just had a shot first time without looking, A, he'd have got more power, and B, the Harrogate Town defence would have been beaten because they thought he was offside. It looked very close call to me, but Adam Boyes makes the goalkeeper make the save nonetheless.
Andy Holdsworth with the throw on the halfway line for Guiseley. Up towards Adam Boyes, flicked on. Wayne Brooksby takes it. He's under pressure, and in the end, McGurk's presence is enough to force Wayne Brooksby to lose possession. It's out for a Harrogate Town throw in left-back position. A couple of score lines on Boxing Day. We're still scoreless here. In the meantime, we'll just watch his ball go out for a Guiseley throw. Dover 1, Welling 0 in the Vanarama Conference. Chorley 0, Bradford Park Avenue 1 is a latest score there. Chester 0, Altrincham 1, Gateshead 1, Halifax 2. So Halifax are back in front. And a good, interesting scoreline there. If Bradford Park Avenue are indeed leading at Chorley. There's a slip as Harrogate Town have possession of the ball in left back. There's a slip that gives Guiseley a throw-in. Taken by Brooksby, given to Boyes. Boyes finds Andy Holdsworth in the penalty area, plays it back to Gavin Rothey, a curling shot with the left foot, just going wide, takes a deflection off a Town man, it's gone behind for a Guiseley corner.
Good play there by Guiseley, and it's Luke Shields who falls over. He's then, when the throw-in's taken out of position, Adam Boyes does well, holds it up. In the end, the ball goes into the area. Gavin Rothey, I don't think the shot's actually going to be on target, but he just ensures that it hits off a Harrogate Town leg, gets the corner.
Corner will come in from the left-hand side. Guiseley have the big men forward. Jake Lawler, Danny Ellis, Ben Parker's in there too. The corner comes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Beyond everyone, Danny Ellis is going to try and sprint to keep it in, and does so, but it's a good tackle that comes in from Clayton on Danny Ellis, and it's another Guiseley corner, and Danny Ellis felt that tackle. He's up. A little hobble, but that was a thundering moment there between two fairly sizable competitors.
Got to say, though, for the size of Danny, he's done really well to keep that in. It looked like it was going to be going out for a Harrogate Town throw-in. Instead, guys will get the throw themselves, and if they can take full advantage, Danny Ellis looks all right now. He's just moving a little gingerly, but if guys can take advantage now, all that hard work by the centre-back will be worth it.
Now, just off the ball, Gavin Rothey has been bundled over a couple of times off the ball while we're waiting for that throw-in to be taken, and the referee is just having a word with the offending Town player. Can't quite tell who it is that's been pulled up there, Tom, but Gavin Rothey twice sort of went down as he was trying to get some space and away from his marker. The referee today, David Richardson, just having a chat with Nelthorpe. Throw-in will come in. Gavin Rothey and Nelthorpe resume their little battle. It goes short actually to Boyes. Boyes gets it back. He's going to cross this one in towards the back post where you'd like to have seen Adam Boyes. It's gone beyond everyone anyway, and it's been picked up by Louis Swain up to the halfway line. James Walshaw takes over, lays it back here to Bloomer. Bloomer sends a rather aimless ball forward, and it's out for a Guiseley throw.
Got to say, Nelthorpe and Rothey, though, although there might have been that little push, both had big smiles on their faces, and they continued that battle again. It's just interesting, though, the referee just before that had said, if you do that again, I'm gonna punish you, and then he does it. I was wondering, would that be a free kick? Because
ball's not in play, was it, when it happened? Because it was a throw.
Yeah.
So if it'd been played, if he'd allowed him to take the throw and he'd gone down, it would have been a free kick. But ball wasn't in play. Other refereeing lessons will be available to you later on, Tom, don't worry.
Learning day by day on this.
A little bit of a mix-up as Guiseley almost capitalised on a Harrogate Town mix-up there at the edge of the D. Phil Barnes eventually gets it clear. Nelthorpe was following it back. Harrogate now with the ball in the halfway line. Guiseley win with Jake Lawler. Goes towards Adam Boyes. Good tackle comes in from Shields. And eventually it's back into the Guiseley half, which is dealt with well by Danny Ellis. Battle comes in here. Danny Boschel against his opposite number. Fallowfield does well to win the ball back for Harrogate. Chipped forward from Nelthorpe up towards Walshaw, who claims it on the edge of the D. His shot parried away by Stephen Drench. A good turn and shot from James Walshaw. An opportunity from nothing, and that's what he offers. A corner to Harrogate Town.
Fantastic play there by James Walshaw. Puts his body in the way, makes sure that he can turn, and then he places a shot, and it's going right in the corner. Drench, big hand away, corner Harrogate.
There's about 6 Harrogate players in the penalty area, all taking different places up towards a back post where it'll no doubt be targeted. It goes up that place. Eventually it's defended as a free ball in the area. Shot comes in from Kerry. Guys, you defend it, cleared, and now Wayne Brooksby can launch a counter-attack. Swift work there from Nowakowski. Excellent tackle from Adam Nowakowski to halt Wayne Brooksby as he was coming forward down the right-hand flank. And guys, you now have a throw-in on the halfway line, and referee, he halted play for a second. I thought he was going to have a word with someone. He wasn't. He was just trying to tell them to get it from the right place. Guys, he restart. And the ball with Danny Ellis in his back line. He plays it towards Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby flicks it on. And Boys has got an awful lot to do. Nowakowski's way ahead of him. He clears. Danny Ellis returns. Wayne Brooksby battles for it. It's nodded out by Nowakowski. Nelthorpe feels he was fouled by Wayne Brooksby. Nothing's given. Andy Holdsworth takes the throw. Gives it to Gavin Rothey. Back to Holdsworth. Rothey. It's all out here on the touchline at the moment. Can't get in field. Wayne Brooksby takes the throw now to Rothey. So the challenge comes in to him. It's a very narrow field, this. You can feel the distance between the both sides and the touch lines. There doesn't seem much space to play in at either side of this the field. It feels very compact. Ollie Johnson now on the ball in the halfway line. Danny Boschel into Ben Parker. Parker brings it forward into Gavin Rothey, who finds Ollie Johnson, who's right on the left flank on the edge of the penalty area. Stumbles as he tries to trick his way into the area. He has to go back as he recovers the ball, and in doing so gives it to Clayton, and Danny Ellis is inside the Harrogate half, bundles Clayton over, and it'll be a free kick to Harrogate inside their own half.
Well, just for a second I thought, was Ollie Johnson trying something a bit different there, but it was clear he just lost his footing.
It was different, Tom.
Yeah. I thought, just for a second, is he going to try and get it past there, but he nearly falls over. And you know, like you were saying, it's very narrow, and the way that both sides are playing, kind of cancelling each other out at times, and you're just looking for someone maybe to come off the bench in the second half to try and counter that. But so far a really good game of football, and I think both sides will feel a little bit aggrieved that they haven't got a goal yet, because Walshaw's had 2 big chances and guys have had a few of themselves as well.
Strange game of football, I think. It's all Russian commitment. There's a throw-in actually to Harrogate Town from Stephen Drench's clearance here, but little passing play. It's all very direct, and perhaps the pitch and the size of the pitch and the styles are to blame for this. Gavin Rothey's just pulled down here by Nelthorpe. It'll be a free kick to Guiseley. A couple of scores quickly to give you. Worcester 0, Hensford 1. Torquay 1, Bristol Rovers 2. It was 2-0 to Rovers at one point. Eastleigh 1, Woking 2. Woking back in front. York 1, Accrington 0. And Boston 3, Lowestoft 0. Lowestoft who beat Chorley last week, and now Boston United are beating them 3-0. So real changes in fortunes there. Guys, now with a free kick. They have 4-5 players up on the edge of the 18-yard box. This one taken from Wayne Brooksby up towards the edge of the D. Picked up here by Gavin Rothey, but he can't get the shot away. He does now when he gets the ball returned to him. Seems to deflect off Jake Lawler's arm. Referee waves it away. It's gone to no particular dangerous position anyway, and now Harrogate Town can come away with the ball here with Nelthorpe. Plays it long towards Clayton. Clayton flicks it on, but there's an offside flag against Paul Clayton anyway. And that's a rest for the Lions. Strange sort of attacking move each time, isn't it? It all seems to, ball sort of pings around, doesn't it? Like a ping ball game. It's impossible to seem to get it under control.
Well, just one of these games where maybe a slice of luck's going to be the difference, because both sides have got so many players in the area for each attack and defence. You get a ball in there, it hit off Jake Lawler, it did hit off his hand, but if that had maybe hit off his chest and just looped past the keeper, that's your goal.
Flick on there from Lawler. It finds Adam Boyes in the area. The goalkeeper's come out. He hasn't got it. Boyes still in the penalty, on the penalty spot. Can't get the ball under control. Claims a big shout of handball. The fans behind that goal also shout for handball, but referee's not interested. And somehow Phil Barnes has managed to claim the ball And Harrogate, who almost conceded a goal in the sloppiest of manners, have recovered and sent the ball back upfield towards the Guiseley goal. It's been returned, though, to Gavin Rothey. And now Ollie Johnson, who has a run down the left-hand flank. He's got the regs on Nowakowski, but a great tackle comes in from the Harrogate man, and they defend that and eventually win the throw-in in right-back position. But what a crazy couple of seconds that was.
And for a second, I thought it might have been a penalty even, because Adam Boyes, trying to get the ball, it looks like he was clearly just pushed a little bit by the goalkeeper, who's desperately trying to get the ball back. And, I have seen penalties given for that. I think you've got to also credit the Harrogate Town defence for how quickly they got back to clear that as well. So just one of them, though, on another day, that might have been a penalty.
That could have been about 10 decisions in one there, couldn't there? I mean, I actually thought Boyes might possibly even have been offside when he received the ball, because the goalkeeper was way beyond and might have only been one between him and the goal line. But there's a shout for a handball as well. Guys are now back on the ball here. Gavin Rothey, he's just spun past Shields onto the edge of the D. Gavin Rothey gets a shot away with the left foot, blocked by Nowakowski. Still here with Guiseley, though. Boschel plays a poor ball in, and it's collected by Kerry. Kerry now sends it down, and there's a counter-attack on the other end here with Louis Swain. Swain with a chance to play the ball into the area. It's blocked well, though, by Danny Lowe. Finds Ollie Johnson on the halfway line. Breathless stuff. Ollie Johnson over the top. Adam Boyes won't get onto the end of that. It'll be comfortable for the goalkeeper. But it's from one end and then back up to the other, and not the quality, it has to be said, at either end to create the goal at the moment. It's frenetic stuff, though, nonetheless. Now the ball down the right-hand side here as Harrogate come on the attack. It's a good tackle from Lowe in on Swain. It'll be a throw-in, though, to Harrogate, midway through the Guiseley half on the right-hand side. And there's Clayton, Walshaw and Swain all lurking in the penalty area, looking to get on this. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a long throw effort, possibly. No, it's gone short, actually. Harrogate will try and get this cross in, and they do get a good cross in. It goes, in the end, to be a free kick because the ball was played in. Ollie Johnson's coming with a late challenger. Referee blew straight away, even though there was a chance for a potential goal with the cross that had been made, and Harrogate Town's players are surrounding the referee and the man down there. I'm not quite sure who is it that's down, Tom. He's obviously been caught by Ollie Johnson. Referee's gone across and he's gone to his book. And I must admit, my line of sight followed the ball and didn't see the connection or the challenge at all. Ollie Johnson's been spoken to here, and hopefully this will just be a yellow, but it's definitely going to be some sort of card here.
To be honest, and same as well, because I literally looked at James Walshaw, who I saw was in the area trying to get his head on it, heard a big scream, and then look, and there's a Harrogate Town player down. It is a yellow card for Johnson, but it just shows you this really is end-to-end stuff. And Harrogate Town now with this free kick in a good position, and they've got about eight players in the area. They, crowding the penalty area. Just wait and see what happens with this.
Harrogate Town with a free kick. It's about 10 yards up from the touchline. It must have been Matt Bloomer who's having to go off the field anyway, who was the man who was fouled, and the delivery of the cross, the right back. Ollie Johnson is now in the book, second Guiseley player in the book this afternoon. This free kick about 10 yards up from the goal line, curled in, punched away by Stephen Drench, and eventually Guiseley will get another defensive job to do, because Harrogate will have a throw from the other side, about level with the 6-yard box. And Town keep bodies forward as Guiseley have to do some defensive work here. We'll just wait for the ball to be recovered at the moment. It is, and on the left-hand side, Harrogate eventually will take this one. Taking a long time as they look to get the positions that they want. Clayton wins the ball back. Guiseley battling it right down by the corner flag now. It's gone back to Nelthorpe. Gets a good cross in, headed away by Danny Lowe. Only as far as Nowakowski. He's on the ball, skips past Rothery, gets a good return from Kerry, and in the end it's well defended there from Adam Boyes, of all people, and it's going to be another Harrogate throw on the left-hand side.
Really important tackle there by Boyes as well, because if that ball's crossed in with the amount of players that Town have got in the area, again, it's just like a game of pinball. That seems to be the way Town want to do it at the moment when they get forward. So for Boyes to get that out of play just prevents that for now.
Throwing comes in. Goes back to Nelthorpe, the taker. He gets a good cross into the area. Danny Ellis has to clear inside the 6-yard box. Back only as far as James Walshaw on the left flank. Again, Nelthorpe takes over. He's up against Rothery. Back here to Kerry. Kerry will cross on the right foot. Curls it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Headed away by Lawler. Harrogate still have the ball. Chipped back into the penalty area. Danny Ellis makes a connection. Gets underneath it. Ollie Johnson clears only as far as Navakowski, who turns past Adam Boys, but can't keep control of possession. And it's cleared, but headed back into Guiseley territory. And Louis Swain gets a good cross into the area, looking for Clayton. Stephen Drench off his line swiftly, claims the ball, but gets a contact from Clayton, and the referee will give a free kick. Drench doesn't look at all happy with that, and Clayton has been spoken to by the referee now as well. And Stephen Drench is saying he's put his foot right up. He's making the motion to that. He's very cross, but the referee's just having a word with the striker. And guys will get the free kick, and Drench looks okay in the end.
Yeah, really brave goalkeeping by Drench, because Clayton, he is running at him at a very quick pace, and I didn't see if the foot went up or not, because Drench has turned his body to a side when he's got the ball to just make sure it will protect it. So I'm not sure about the foot, but really good goalkeeping by Drench, ensuring that it's still 0-0.
Stephen Drench with the clearance from his own goal area from the free kick. Flicked on and all the way back to Phil Barnes. Couple of goals. First of all, in the Vanarama Conference, it's now 2-2 between Gateshead and Halifax. 1-1, Nuneaton have equalised against Steve Kittrick's Telford. Hyde 0, Stalybridge 1. And Gainsborough 2, North Ferriby 0. So North Ferriby having a miserable afternoon again. The ball flicked back to Stephen Drench from Andy Holdsworth. And then played upfield by Stephen Drench and taken down by Nelthorpe. Clipped over the halfway line, stays in play. No, the Rhinesman's flag is up, and it'll be a Harrogate Town throw. Just inside I think just about on the halfway line is what referee David Richardson's telling Craig Nelthorpe. James Walshaw takes it from a totally different angle, but is forced back. So the throw comes in. 43 minutes gone. Guiseley and Harrogate Town 0-0 here. Headed away by Andy Holdsworth from the throw up towards Adam Boyce, still inside his own half. Interesting array of chances at both ends in this first 45. But no goals as yet. Danny Lowe plays it forward, and it's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper Phil Barnes. And just as Tom was indicating what the added time was, because he'd spotted the board over there, the Tannoy announcer got there first. It's 1 more minute to play at the end of this game, at the end of this first half. And Clayton now has the ball for Harrogate, plays it into the area, headed away by Danny Ellis. Back as far as Shields. Kerry now as Harrogate press towards the end of this first half. A long one into the area once again. Stephen Drench is underneath it. Walshaw battles for it. The referee doesn't give a free kick. Guiseley clear the lines. Harrogate Town get it back in here. Walshaw down the left flank has the ball again for Harrogate Town. Cuts infield. Gives it back here to Nelthorpe. Nelthorpe with the cross. Blocked by Rothery. And Nelthorpe will claim the ball again out on the left-hand flank. Tries to get past Rothery. Rothery holds his line well. Guys, you have to keep good shape here. Nelthorpe gets the cross in. Cleared by Danny Ellis, only as far as Shields, who nods a good ball back into the area. It's flicked on and held by Stephen Drench. And guys, you now need to look to get the ball up the other end, because I have to say in the last sort of 5-10 minutes it's been a lot more down towards our left where guys are defending than it has been towards our right.
Yeah, definitely. I think the work rate of Swain and Walshaw is really causing Guiseley some problems, and for Guiseley now with about 20 seconds to go, it's just the aim will be just to get in at the break at 0-0.
Walshaw might want to change out. He's picked up the ball inside the Guiseley half. Lays the ball back actually to the Harrogate defence, and Nelthorpe cuts infield. He's robbed by Brooksby, but still finds the ball through to Kerry. And eventually a long one goes forward towards the head of Louis Swain, but before it gets there, the referee blows for half-time. It's 0-0 at the break. It's not been a classic. There's been a couple of key moments. A great save from Stephen Drench to deny James Walshaw. There could have been a couple of goals up the other end as well for Guiseley had fate's been kinder. But it's been a sort of scrappy affair, full of energy, full of endeavour, not exactly full of passing quality. It's not quality. It's not one for the purists, this game, but it's a very interesting and entertaining Boxing Day derby, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, definitely. I think, the way the pitch is, I think that's dictating how the game is being played. Players just lumping it forward, getting as many men into the area as possible, and just seeing what will happen from there. But I think both sides have had their chances. Adam Boyes with that really good chance where the goalkeeper somehow gets a hand onto it to ensure that his error doesn't lead to a goal. But James Walshaw, we know so much about him. He has had a couple of chances himself, and it has just been one of them games where, although it is 0-0, it's been an entertaining game. Both sides have given it their all so far, and it just feels like one of them games now where that first goal is going to be so crucial because it might be the last. It feels like, in my opinion, it feels like it's got 1-0 written all over it, but I can't tell you which side will get the goal.
Yeah.
Hopefully it will be the away team today.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. It's not comfortable watching so far here at the CNG Stadium. Let's just quickly give you some half-time scores. The games we've been watching out for the local sides in the league. Leeds United 0, Wigan 1, half-time. Rotherham 0, Huddersfield 1, half-time as well in that game. Fleetwood 0, Bradford City 1, York City 1, Accrington Stanley 0. In the Vanarama Conference, full-time, Aldershot 1, Barnet 3, Forest Green 2, Kidderminster 3. The rest are half-time scorelines. Chester 0, Altrincham 1. Big derby there. Dartford 0, Braintree 1, Dover 2, Welling 0, Eastleigh 2, Woking 2, Gateshead 2, Halifax 2, Lincoln 1, Alfreton 0, Macclesfield 0, Grimsby 1, Nuneaton 1, Telford 1. Of course, Steve Kittrick's first league game in charge in the Vanarama Conference. Southport 0, Wrexham 0, Torquay 1, Bristol Rovers 2. In the Vanarama Conference North, Boston 3, Lowestoft 1, Chorley 0, Bradford Park Avenue 1. Fylde and Barrow still scoreless in that big game there in the first two. We'll take that with Tom. We'll have that as the full-time score. Gainsborough 1, North Ferriby 0. So we denounced that as 2-0 at one point, so obviously that goal's been chalked off before they announced it. Gloucester 0, Brackley 1, Harrogate 0, Guiseley 0 here, Hyde 0, Stalybridge 1, Leamington 2, Oxford City 0, Solihull Moors 0, Tamworth 1, Stockport County 0, Colwyn Bay 1, Worcester City 0, Hensford 1. So that brings you up to the state with the half-time scorelines. So with that, we're going to take a break for 10 minutes or so, see if we can warm ourselves up, and we'll be back for the second half of this game. Hope you can join us then. Well, good afternoon and welcome back here to the CNG Stadium in Harrogate, where Harrogate Town and Guiseley are playing on this Boxing Day Vanarama Conference North Derby match. Still scoreless at the break. We've had chances at both ends. It's been a sort of scrappy, narrow affair in many respects with the type of play, but it's in the same time it's quite compelling. It's an exciting sort of game in that things are happening frequently. It's just what's happening has not particularly been of great footballing quality, has it? There's lots of things happening and it's quite exciting, quite interesting, but the actual quality of the football has not been that great. Yeah,
I completely agree with that. I think you look at it and say 0-0. Sometimes there are some dreadful 0-0 games. This isn't one of them. Things are happening. You know, it has been end-to-end stuff. There's just been that lack of quality, and I think both sides are trying to play very similar to each other, and they're almost cancelling each other out every time they get on the ball. They're filling the penalty areas up both sides, and it's just the case that in the final third, both teams seem to have the same idea, and it just results in a kind of stalemate. So maybe there is a chance for Guiseley or Harrogate Town to make some changes. You look at the Guiseley bench and someone like Nicky Boschel and Alex Johnson, someone who can offer something that little bit different. And for Harrogate Town, you know, don't need to say Reece Maynall, he's got fantastic delivery. If he came on, he could cause some problems. And Dominic Rowe, who was at Bradford City, he's a very good player, and he's someone who's got a lot of pace as well. So again, he can offer something different. So maybe this game could be won on the bench.
And not to mention Jake Spate as well. Nonetheless, Guiseley actually have got underway here, shooting from right to left in the second half, as we sit and watch in this main stand here at Wetherby Road. The Lions immediately on the ball inside the Harrogate half and immediately chased down by Harrogate Town. Very energetic in the defence, crowding round Guiseley when we've been on the ball. Adam Boys gets a touch on the ball. Very, very powerful challenge in on him. Goes upfield, and the man who made the tackle, which I think is Shields, is it? He's down on the ground at the moment. I think he might have taken a bit of a knock after the event. He's busy banging the ground with his foot, and some physio attention is required. But it just proved the point, really, didn't it? As soon as he was on the ball, as soon as Adam Boys had the possession, there was a thundering tackling on him, players crowding around Guiseley, not getting a chance to craft out any time or space on the ball.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure that it seems like the physio might be looking towards his the head area, and when he's dived in, he's fairly got the ball, but maybe he's just fallen back a little bit on a very hard surface, this ground, and maybe he's just winded himself, or maybe it could be something to do with his head as well. But he looks all right. He's got up, but it were a committed tackle. Adam Boys took it well, and it just feels like that's how the half's going to be. Just like the first half, the first 5 minutes, there were loads of tackles going in, all of them, a lot to them, getting the ball, but leaving a bit in as well, making it a tasty affair. And it seems like that's how this second half is going to start as well.
Well, Luke Shields happily is okay. And he's back on the field of play already. Guiseley get the ball from the goalkeeper's feet, because that's where he had it when we put the ball out into touch. And immediately it goes forward. Danny Boschel found a little bit of space for himself inside the Harrogate half, but turned out to be offside. Flag goes up, and so it's going to be a Harrogate Town throw. And scoreless here between these two sides, as it is at half-time between Fylde and Barrow. Another game, obviously, that's very crucial. The top two playing each other across Boxing Day and New Year's Day. Harrogate now on the ball on the left-hand side with James Walshaw up against Holdsworth. The cross comes in. It's up towards the back post. Bloomer makes the connection nearly. But there's a header that comes in from Ben Parker, and Parker's down on the ground inside the 6-yard box. The game surely has to stop. Yep. And Ben Parker, who made that challenge, as Matt Bloomer looked to be getting on the end of that ball, has got a knock for his efforts.
Well, I think this will be a head injury, because what's happened is the ball's come in and Matt Bloomer's just going to head this in. And it's a fantastic tackle by Ben Parker. He's put his head in the way, been able to clear it, but then what's happened is Bloomer's headed him instead of the ball, and Parker went down, immediately was holding his head, and Martin Stringfellow is just making sure that Ben's okay.
They're having some good attention, isn't he, at the moment? The bag's out and Parker's on his back there in the 6-yard box. A couple of players around him, and I wonder whether he's just got a bit of a cut in the process of that. Of course, if we were to make a change, it could mean that we would see the introduction of young Jordan Hendry. Ben Parker at the moment receiving attention on the field, so perhaps he'll be warming up over the far side there. And early doors in the second half, we've had 2 fairly lengthy spells for injuries. I have to say, Ben Parker does look like his is going to take a little bit of time. There seems to be a lot of attention being focused around the head and possibly a bit of bleeding that needs to be stemmed.
Well, Martin brought a white towel with him to just wipe Ben's head, and that towel is now red. So it does look like he's taken quite a nasty cut. It looks like it might just be below the cheekbone, the cheekbone area. But knowing Ben, he'll want to continue because he's got. But
he sat up right.
Yeah.
I mean, not over dramatise it. He's sat up. He's clearly okay. He's just having I think a knock and possibly in the teeth, hasn't he? Is something that's
just a swig of water and just trying to recompose himself and get back playing.
Couple of goals, interesting ones this. Solihull 1, Tamworth 1. So Solihull Moors were trailing at home to Tamworth. Southport 0, Wrexham 1. That'll be an interesting game, won't it? But listen to this. AFC Fylde 1, Barrow 0. So Fylde have got the early goal and the big encounter between the top 2. And the third place team, Guiseley, here, we are currently 0-0. And Ben Parker is up on his feet. He's going to have to continue to get some attention. And he's just having a bit of a laugh with the fans behind the goal there. There is actually going to be a drop ball. The referee held the play up, and I think it's going to be a contested drop ball, as Ben Parker was given some attention immediately when referee David Richardson realised he'd gone down with a head injury in the 6-yard box. And Jake Lawler sportingly actually gives the ball back to Harrogate, who I think probably were in possession at that time. And it's all the way back with Barnes, the goalkeeper. Ben Parker continues to be in receipt of some attention. So Guiseley down to 10 temporarily. Wayne Brooksby seems to be in left back. And Jake Lawler with a good thundering header gets the ball away. Now Gavin Rothey comes forward on that left flank. He's got Wayne Brooksby behind him, but Brooksby's not committing himself too much. Rothery cuts it infield towards Lawler. Lawler gives it to Boschel, gets it back, and then tries to thread it through to Adam Boyes, but it's just beyond him and off for a goal kick.
Yeah, really good ball there by Jake Lawler, trying to just split the central defensive partnership of Harrogate Town up. Just a little bit too much on it, though, goes out of play. But it's a good idea there, and it's something, Jake there, just trying something a little bit different. Instead of being same during the, like Guiseley were during the first half, just like Harrogate were as well, being a little bit predictable. The second half, guys have come out with a couple of new ideas. Now they're going to try and implement them.
Flick on now from Harrogate as they get the ball forward directly towards Rowe. It's effectively as well. Rowe, Swain rather, takes the ball down and clears, and it's immediately up the other end and almost an opportunity for Danny Boschel to capitalise, but a good clearance comes in from Harrogate, and Guiseley have the throw on this left-hand side. It's Wayne Brooksby, infield to Danny Boschel. He's closed down immediately and invites the free kick because of the challenge of Fallowfield. At the moment, there's a couple of other scorelines. Dover 3, Welling 0. That makes you think if we went up, Dover away. Just put that in your mind. Nuneaton 1, Telford 2. So Steve Kittrick's new charges, leading 2-1 now at Nuneaton. And Hyde 1, Stalybridge 1. Now Guiseley have just conceded an opportunity here too. Harrogate, Walshaw into the area. Good challenge comes in from Danny Lowe. A goal chance saving challenge there from Danny Lowe. Superb tackle. The ball ricocheted in the penalty area. It found its way to James Walshaw from a long ball clearance. And a great tackle comes in there from Danny Lowe to deny the former Guiseley man a real goal-scoring chance. Harrogate still on the ball, though, on this left-hand side. Good work here from Nelthorpe, who's been brought down by, I think it's Holdsworth, who's already on a yellow card, and the referee doesn't look like he's going to produce a second, but heart-in-mouth moments for us here. Big shout of off from the Harrogate Town fans away to our right.
Yeah, and you know what? I have seen referees give yellow cards for that kind of tackle. Holdsworth being done there. got to say the referee just seemed to have a quick word with Holdsworth. I think might be a this is your last chance.
Cards marked, perhaps. Guiseley now have to defend this corner from the left-hand side as Harrogate Town attack the Guiseley goal. It will be whipped in. It's a few yards out from the angle of the penalty area on that left flank. The ball curled in towards the back post. Stephen Drench watches it. I think he might have got a touch just to tip that one over. And it's going to be a Harrogate Town corner, and the home fans are getting set behind their side now.
Well, if he meant to do that, that is a fantastic free kick, because everyone looked ready for this to be a cross. Drench was as well, and it's just better safe than sorry. Just tips it over the goal, and it's gone out for a corner.
Lloyd Kerry it was who comes across to take the corner from the right-hand side. Kerry distributes well into the penalty area, headed down into the ground by Walshaw and behind for a goal kick. But just a couple of moments there that just had us concerned. First, the challenge from Andy Holdsworth on Nelthorpe that could have produced a card. I think it would have been harsh, but as you say, Tom, you have seen them produced, and then again that free kick that Kerry produced, that Stephen Drench was underneath. It wasn't overly worrying for him, but he did have to tip it over for a corner. Free. So the goal kick's taken by Stephen Drench up towards Jake Lawler. He flicks it on. Picked up now by Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby infield here to Boschel. Guys, you just can't find the space to create the opportunities that they like. The ball out to the right-hand side towards Andy Holdsworth. Beyond him, such little space really to distribute the ball into these flanks. Often we've seen them overhit this afternoon. Saying the markings on this pitch are very narrow. And in the end, it's gone all the way back to Stephen Drench. And Guiseley will have to start again. Drench sends it to the left flank where Brooksby controls brilliantly. Can't get past Nowakowski, so it's out again for another throw-in for Guiseley.
Well, it just seems like for a couple of moments that Harrogate was starting to turn the screw. They were creating the chances. Now it's so important for Guiseley with this attack just to create something, just to put that momentum back with the Lions. But got to say, it looks like this game will be down to either a mistake or some luck, because both teams are cancelling each other out at pretty much every opportunity.
Danny Ellis towards Ollie Johnson, but it's a misplaced pass picked up by Nelthorpe towards Walshaw now over the halfway line. Walshaw down that left flank, cuts in field, good ball in, gets the return from Clayton. Walshaw down to the touchline, gets the cross into the penalty area, cut out by Danny Lowe. Picked up again, this time by Nelthorpe. Nelthorpe up against Ollie Johnson, skips past Ollie Johnson, goes towards the byline. Nelthorpe gets across into the area, headed away by Andy Holdsworth. Again, the pressure beginning to tell. Guiseley with the balls out to the flanks, not being able to hold up play inside the Harrogate Town half. Harrogate Town finding a little bit of joy now when they work down the two areas and when they distribute the ball into the penalty area. And there's a free kick now for Guiseley. Someone's down there. I don't know if it's a fell awkwardly. Is that Gavin Rothey who's gone to ground? Immediately, Martin Stringfellow goes across to attend to him. And Guiseley will have a free kick. And there's been an equaliser in one of the big games at the bottom of this division for Gloucester City, who are trailing 1-0 at the break to Brackley, at home to Brackley, but Gloucester have got an equaliser. Of course, Bradford Park Avenue and Gloucester City battling at the moment to get away from the bottom three, and Bradford Park Avenue are also winning this afternoon as it stands, 1-0 at Chorley.
Well, it just looked like with Rothery that he might have injured his shoulder a little bit. He fell to the floor and he did make a sound when he went down. It's just lifting his shoulder up and down. It looks like he's all right, although it looks like Guiseley might be making a swap, so maybe I'm wrong there.
Yeah, there does certainly look to be a substitution. I think Mark Bauer has to change things around. This second half hasn't really seen us step up that gear that I'm sure he'll have wanted us to do after the first 45. If anything, Harrogate are growing more into the game. And I think, I'm not quite sure who we're seeing come off, but I think we are going to see the introduction of Alex Johnson. It's his sort of game, I have to say. Now, Ben Parker onto the halfway line. He's muscled off the ball, but he keeps at his task brilliantly to win the ball back here from Louis Swain. Parker keeps going, cuts the ball in towards Brooksby, but it's not found its intended target. And you could see where he wanted to play the ball. Sorry, it was Rothery he was trying to play to. But here we go again, though, with Wayne Brooksby down the left-hand side, having a run at this Harrogate defence. Goes towards the byline, 3 up against him. Can he cross? He can. He finds Jake Lawler on the edge of the 18-yard box, cut out and defended well again by Harrogate. Back here with Danny Lowe now inside the Guiseley half. Gives it to Danny Boschel. Boschel over the top towards Adam Boyes. This one's going to be cut out well by McGurk. Up in the sky now again. Guiseley win the ball back though with Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby lays it down, and Rothery and Brooksby, they had the yards in front of each other, but they couldn't find each other. Brooksby played it into an area that Gavin Rothey wasn't occupying, and in the end it's been knocked out for a throw-in to Harrogate Town in their own right-back position.
Ollie Johnson's coming off then, and it's for Alex Johnson, so that is a change. I think Ollie's actually had quite a good game, been getting forward, causing some attacks, putting the Harrogate Town defence under a bit of pressure, so Alex Johnson will be coming on now, maybe offering himself more as a partner to Adam Boyes rather than playing on the wing. And this might see a change in formation, probably not, but I do think Alex Johnson, for the fact that the next 3 games when Adam Boyes will be suspended, he will be the man to replace him. It's so important that he's given some game time today, give him that confidence going into the game on Sunday.
Well, the throw's taken. Guiseley immediately forced into defensive action. It's James Walshaw closing down Danny Ellis. You probably could hear Danny Ellis hoofing the ball onto the stand of the roof of the stand where we are. Throw in to Harrogate Town on this right-hand side. So 59 minutes gone, and it's still scoreless here between Harrogate Town and Guiseley, but Town beginning to grow in this game more and more. And I've just won a throw-in up from the corner flag on the right-hand side. And now it's a chance here for Bloomer to put a long throw into the area, and Guiseley have to watch where this one will go. He lines it up for a long throw towards the edge of the 18-yard box. It's chested back by Fallowfield, and then another throw is won by Town, just up from the corner flag. Bloomer with the throw. Guiseley just holding decent shape at the moment, preventing any creative spark down that flank. But the ball goes into the area, and eventually it goes out after taking a deflection off Kerry for a Guiseley throw.
Well, important there for Guiseley, because just for a second that long throw, it looked like that would be the option. Instead they took it short, and Guiseley were able to counter that and get possession back. But that long throw, it's an option Harrogate have, and maybe they will be trying to utilise that in a later occasion.
That's a throw again to Harrogate Town. Let's just get some of the latest scores. There's quite a few goals pinging around the Vanarama Conference North at the moment, as Guiseley just have to defend here. Clayton's just chasing down low. Lions just can't get out of their own half. Alex Johnson almost getting his first touch of the ball, but Shields is there ahead of him. And the ball up in the air, bounces kindly for Harrogate Town onto the edge of the 18-yard box. Swain with a shot with the left foot over the bar and behind for a goal kick. So let's just go to those scores now, Tom. A couple of real notes here. Leamington 3, Oxford City 0. Oxford City have been there and thereabouts, haven't they? Been chasing the playoff places, but coming undone this afternoon. Boston 3, Lowestoft 2, we're hearing. Nuneaton 2, Telford 2, so another equaliser for Nuneaton against Steve Kittrick's Telford. Hyde 1, Stalybridge 3 now. 2 quick-fire goals for Stalybridge. Chester 0, Altrincham 2 as well in the Vanarama Conference, and now 2-0 to Huddersfield against Rotherham in the Championship. But yeah, some real goals going around the Vanarama Conference. None here at the moment. Wayne Brooksby's been taken down by a very firm challenge and a big claim of I got the ball from Shields, but the free kick has been given to Guiseley on the halfway line, and Shields runs away quite quickly. It's a sort of tackle that, to be fair, he did look like he got the ball, but he probably got a bit of a man too. A few years ago, you probably wouldn't have even seen that given as a free kick, but it was a thundering tackle there from Shields. Guiseley now with a free kick on the halfway line. It's floated up towards the edge of the D, where Ellis is lurking and trying to get on the end of the ball, but it's well defended again by Harrogate Town. Guiseley not in their pomp or stride at all this afternoon. Brooksby goes down the left-hand side. He's under pressure here from Nelthorpe. Referee is appealed to by Wayne Brooksby. He says that Nelthorpe had a tug at him, but nothing given, and it's actually Harrogate Town throw just up from the corner on the right back position for the home side. Scrappy affair this second half. Still scoreless. Guiseley win the ball back from the throw. Infield to Brooksby. Brooksby's found Boyes in the area, almost found Boyes, but great goalkeeping from Phil Barnes, who raced out of his area to claim the ball ahead of Adam Boyes. He clears immediately downfield, direct football again from Town, and it goes all the way back to Stephen Drench on this occasion.
Yeah, good play there by the goalkeeper, Barnes, because Adam Boyes, it's a good through ball. If Boyes gets onto that, it's 1-0. Barnes ensures he doesn't. The scores remain goalless.
Guys are now battling for the ball. Up against Clayton. Danny Lowe wins it back. Ellis looks for Alex Johnson, even. Well, we haven't seen much of Johnson. He's not had a chance really to get into this game at all, has he? I can't think of a moment where he's really had more than half a touch of the ball. And Guiseley battling hard now, win the ball back here. There's a chance for Johnson to make an impact now. Plays it out towards Brooksby. Brooksby cuts in field work past his man. He's blocked. Free kick to Guiseley on the edge of the penalty area on the right-hand side. And I should think there will be a card this time. And it was the captain, I think, David McGurk, who made the obstruction, made the challenge. To be fair, it was one of those, actually, where Wayne Brooksby takes the ball over him. And McGurk doesn't have too much of a choice. He's got to take one for the team there, hasn't he? Yeah,
because Brooksby's into the area. It'd be a fantastic chance for Guiseley. Good bit of play there by Alex Johnson. He's only had, like you said, half a touch. Really good pass. Finds Brooksby. Nice touch by Brooksby. Gets the free kick. Big chance here for the Lions.
5 or 6 white shirts in that penalty area looking to get on the end of this. A free kick about 10 yards up from the touchline. The goal line on the right-hand side of the penalty area. It's played short here to Holdsworth. He drills one into the penalty area. It finds Adam Boyes, still with back to goal. Eventually a shot comes in across the face of goal. Nobody's able to just get the final touch on it. Ben Parker, in fact, was on the ground as he attempted to put a header in, and it's behind for a goal kick for Harrogate Town, but that was perhaps Guiseley's best moment of the second period.
Well, it's one of them. It's just a ball which is whipped in across the face of goal. Ben Parker throws himself towards the ground, trying to get his head in onto the ball. Misses him, not by much. And Guiseley, it was a big chance there for Guiseley. Like you were saying, their best chance of the second half. Because if Parker had got his head onto that, it'd be 1-0.
Still scoreless, though. Not elsewhere, though. Lincoln City 1, Alfreton 1 in the Vanarama Conference. Gainsborough Trinity 2, North Ferriby 0. We thought it was 2-0 in the first half. It was obviously chalked off goal. And Boston United 4, Lowestoft 2. Boston were 3-0 up in that game. And there's just, as we speak, another goal coming through, and this one important at the bottom and at the top. Chorley 1, Bradford Park Avenue 1. Bradford Park Avenue had been leading by that goal earlier on in this game, this afternoon. But it's now 1-1 there at Victory Park. Guiseley have a throw in right-back position. It's nodded on by Jake Lawler. Up in the air from Shields. Picked up by Gavin Rothey inside the Guiseley half. Ben Parker plays a raking ball out towards Alex Johnson, but that doesn't find its intended target. Alex Johnson doesn't give it up, though. Chases the goalkeeper down as it's played back to Phil Barnes. The goalkeeper, Barnes, claims it at the edge of his area and then sends it long into Guiseley's half again. Danny Ellis wins the header on this occasion. Tough afternoon he's had up against some very familiar faces. The ball played back into the penalty area, and Swain is looking to get on the end of it. He's pressed. Ben Parker's got 3 players around him and has to go back to Danny Lowe, who completes the clearance up to the halfway line. Navakowski wins it up in the air. Good winner from Danny Boschel. Picked up, though, here by Bloomer. Now, Adam Boyes steps across and wins it. Good ball here from Boschel. Finds Alex Johnson. He's cutting infield from the right-hand side. A good shot from Alex Johnson from the edge of the penalty area. Well held there by Phil Barnes. And another bright moment here for the Lions. But still no goal. And immediately Harrogate send it up the other end. Immediately Andy Holdsworth has to put the ball out of play up against James Walshaw. So it'll be a Harrogate throw on the left flank. And 3 players forward for Town. The target man is Clayton on this occasion. He's by the corner flag. Tackle comes in. Clayton wins the ball back as he goes still on that left flank and aims a cross into the area. It's repelled by Guiseley, but only as far as Fallowfield. He tries to drive the shot goal bound. Takes a block from Danny Boschel, and it's out for a Harrogate Town throw again. And the home side really sense blood this afternoon, don't they, Tom?
Yeah, definitely. I think that, Alex Johnson, it was good work there by AJ, but goalkeeper does well to save. And now every time Harrogate get on the ball, their fans are making a lot of noise. It just feels like They feel like they're going to get the first goal. They're getting plenty of men forward every time, and for Guiseley, it's just all about trying to get the ball to Alex Johnson, because he's only had it twice, but on one occasion he set up Brooksby, which led to the free kick, and on the other occasion he has a good shot on goal, causing problems, and he's something that little bit different, which the Harrogate Town defence maybe just aren't used to, and it's something that Guiseley can try and exploit.
Clearances. Harrogate still have the ball inside the Guiseley half. It's up in the air. It's all scrappy stuff. It's picked up, though, by Clayton on the edge of the 18-yard box. Nobody can control it. Gavin Rothey eventually steps across. He's struggling to keep it in play because of the short distance of the pitch, but does so. Plays it up to Boys. Boys is clipped possibly as he goes past McGurk, but is not given. And anyway, the ball's returned into Guiseley's half, and Harrogate can't keep it in the narrow pitch either, and it's gone out for a Guiseley throw in left-back position. Quite a few goals again. We've not got any here, but there's plenty going in. There's another couple at Worcester City, where Hensford now lead 3-0 against Worcester City. Leamington 4, Oxford City 0. There's never less than about 4 goals a game involving Oxford City. Hyde 1, Stalybridge 4, and Boston 4, Lowestoft 3. A real classic there in Boston. Guiseley, meanwhile, coming forward with the ball, but just as we say that, concede poor possession. Andy Holdsworth just put a late challenge in there on James Walshaw, who puts his arms in the air. Holdsworth's already been in the book. Referee's going across to talk to him, and I think this might just be, this is the last word motion from the referee. He didn't go to his book, he's just made the motion, no more. And again, another heart-and-mouth moment there. Andy Holdsworth has got a yellow card from earlier on in that game, and then we thought for a minute, didn't you, Tom? I thought that was the second one.
Yeah, because if you go back to the previous tackle about 10 minutes ago where the referee had a quick word with him, now that definitely was a motion of this is your last chance. Again, there's nothing in the tackle, but it is a tackle where you can see a yellow card being given.
Free kick played long from the goalkeeper, headed away by Danny Ellis, helped back into that penalty area. Harrogate Town have a couple of players offside, including James Walshaw. The flag goes up. Referee doesn't seem to halt the game for an age. And eventually they're very frustrated when they do, but I mean, they were clearly offside, weren't they, Tom? There wasn't too much controversy about that moment.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing was they had 2 chances before he actually blew the whistle. The flag had been up a good 10 seconds before the referee blew, and in that time it was 2 really good tackles by first Danny Ellis and then Danny Lowe blocking the ball. The referee just let play continue. The linesman was waving frantically, and I almost thought it'd be another Chorley moment from a couple of weeks ago.
Where the referee interpreted the offside ahead of the linesman. Free kick now given. Alex Johnson in the thick of things, winning a free kick here for the Lions. On the edge of the centre circle, inside the Guiseley half. It's going to be taken by Danny Boschel. Perhaps it's a chance here for Jake Lawler to get forward, use his imposing presence. He's up against Shields, or Nowakowski rather. Guiseley have 4 players on the edge of the 18-yard box now. Danny Ellis joining. A chance here for the Lions to perhaps get this vital goal if they could. Brooksby into the area. It's headed away beyond Danny Ellis. It feels like that afternoon. I just can't see where there's a goal going to come from today, because it's just so narrow. It's just so difficult to get balls into the box. It's difficult to play against. And this is a really tough task now for Mark Bauer's men. Boys on the ball, back to goal. Lays it back here to Holdsworth. Holdsworth chips it forward towards the head of Alex Johnson. It's beaten away. Boys battling in midfield more or less now, trying to win possession back for Guiseley. Guiseley do recover the ball. Low towards Alex Johnson down the right flank. Johnson's just found a little bit of space. Can he get it in here for Boys? He does. Get a good ball across just above the head of Adam Boys. It's out to the left flank where Parker cuts in field, gives it to Danny Boschel. Parker again on the ball, has a bit of a run. Can he get a shot away from distance? He's clipped. No foul is given. Surely a free kick. The referee's definitely got that one wrong. And eventually it's helped away there by Town. Played back in by Danny Lowe, but Parker's still offside, having been fouled earlier on, but didn't receive the free kick on that occasion. Couple of big goals coming in here. Boston United, by the way, now 5-3 up against Lowestoft. Stockport County 1, Colwyn Bay 1. Listen to this, 2 quick-fire goals in the big game at the top. And that's seen Barrow get back on level terms, and then Fylde take a lead. So Fylde 2, Barrow 1. Fylde next up for Town for Guiseley on Saturday. Barrow next up for Town also. Alex Johnson gives the ball to Gavin Rothey. Rothey sprays the ball to the right-hand side, finds Brooksby just inside the Town half. Comes forward, plays it to the right to Andy Holdsworth, but he's never going to get there ahead of Nelthorpe. Nelthorpe battles. Holdsworth tries to keep the ball live. It's gone out for a goal kick.
Well, yeah, some big goals there then for Fylde, and for Guiseley it just feels like it could be one of them days where it's got 0-0 written all over it with not that long to go, because every time they try and get a ball forward down either wing, Harrogate Town are more than happy just to let the ball go out of play. They're playing that way, and when Harrogate get the ball as well, Guiseley are more than happy to do the same. So it just feels like both sides are playing very similar, playing in a way where the other team can basically counter what they're doing, and it just is resulting in this real stalemate between two sides that are giving it their all. They're both trying to get a goal, but they're both doing the same thing, and it just results in neither side being able to take advantage.
Ball still in midfield with Harrogate Town. They play a long one forward again, up towards the head of Danny Ellis. He just watches that one go out, and it's a goal kick again. Solihull Moors now 2-0 down at home to Tamworth. So Tamworth 2 goals to the good. Nuneaton 3, Telford 2. Telford had been leading 2-1 in that one in Steve Kittrick's first game in charge. First league game in charge. Of course, he presided over a trophy replay victory. The replay of the game that saw Liam Watson lose his job was the original draw. Now Harrogate Town have the ball again. Walshaw on the left flank lays it back here to Kerry. Ball forward again towards Clayton. Tackle comes in again from Danny Ellis, and the throw will be taken by James Walshaw, but the referee's actually given the throw the other way. And Harrogate Town have it, and I think we're going to have the first Harrogate Town substitute, and it's Louis Swain who's coming off, and in his place is Thulis. Is that right, number 15? Yes, Jordan Thulis, the man who came from Goole midweek, and so he will be making his debut, if I'm correct in my understanding there, Tom. So Harrogate Town making the change. Yeah, Louis Swain, I mean, he's looked lively, he's looked dangerous, hasn't he? You can see why we always felt he was a decent prospect when he came on loan from Bradford City for us and scored a couple of important goals. You can see he's got a real prospect, and he looks like he's doing well here. Anyway, actually, guys, you've just won possession here on the halfway line. Ball out here to the right-hand side. Alex Johnson, 2 in the area if he can find them. Plays the ball in, takes a deflection, Guiseley corner.
Fantastic play there by Guiseley, because Harrogate Town had the ball. It looked like that they were going to start an attack of their own. Danny Boschley sees the run of Alex Johnson. Johnson gets the ball, makes sure it goes out for a corner. Plenty of men going in the area now.
So we approach the last quarter of an hour, just into the last 15 in this game. Guiseley with the corner on the right-hand side, whipped in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away. Danny Ellis isn't close enough to the ball to win that one. Played back in by Adam Boys up towards the back post, headed up in the air, helped up in the air. Harrogate Town haven't cleared the lines yet. Nobody able to capitalise, and eventually it's hoisted away on the edge of the D for another Guiseley throw-in midway through this Harrogate Town half on the left-hand side. Low steps across to take. Parker's coming back to collect, actually. Guiseley now more patient build-up. Back here to Danny Lowe on the halfway line. And it's all the way back with Stephen Drench. But they're just such rare moments, these, aren't they, Tom?
Yeah.
That Guiseley seem to get the space to attack.
Yeah, and that was one of the few times where they have, and they try and take advantage.
And another clearance comes in on the edge of the D, and it's another throw-in to Guiseley. Just as, in fact, I hoped I was rather jinxing it, that if I handed over to you, we'd have to cut you off, but it didn't quite work out that way. Ben Parker with the throw. Short here to Gavin Rothey. Rothey again, no time given to him from Nowakowski. The ball in from Parker, cut out comfortably. Tight affairs these games have always been. Guiseley had to get the odd goal in 5 to get past Town last season. Gavin Rothey hat-trick in what was a very entertaining 3-2 victory.
And it was a hat-trick of penalties as well.
It was, yes. Yeah, 3 penalty.
If we could get one
kicks
today.
Could be settled by that now. Thulis, the Harrogate Town substitute, gets the ball inside the Guiseley half. There's a shout for a free kick as James Walshaw goes down, but we've seen those before. We know that one wasn't a free kick. Referee didn't disagree either, and it's Harrogate Town throw nonetheless inside their own half in right back position. And we're approaching This game now, 12 minutes to go. Still scoreless on Boxing Day. Lincoln City have scored a second in their game. They're 2-1 up now against Alfreton in the Vanarama Conference. Guiseley just trying to pass the ball out of defence and doing so quite effectively actually here. Gavin Rothey then gets the ball on the halfway line. No space again to move into. Fallowfield does well to win the ball back, and now Thulis down this right flank up against Jake Lawler. Can't get the ball in. Does well actually to get a sort of cross into the penalty area under great pressure, and the ball's cleared. Now Alex Johnson gets it from behind. Nowakowski brings him down. Johnson keeps working. Nowakowski surely will go in the book. And that was a real chance that Nowakowski had to stop in its early stages there, because Alex Johnson was through ahead of him, and would have been a couple of players ahead of him there, Tom. So a yellow card to Adam Nowakowski.
Just when Alex Johnson got that ball, it looked like he was going to get into the half and then make a real run forward. So it's a good tackle there. I think it's one of them, you take one for the team, you get the booking.
Low with the free kick up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Danny Ellis is up there. It's headed away though. Wayne Brooksby on the right-hand side gives it back to Danny Ellis. Gets the ball back, can cross this one. Good cross into the area, headed away. Only as far as Danny Boschel on the edge of the 18-yard box. He's beaten to it. Counter-attack opportunity now for the home side. Thulis chases this one down. Danny Lowe, good tackle in on the substitute. Ben Parker tidies it up, gives it back to Stephen Drench. Drench lofts it forward. Big goal in the team. The game's at the top of the Vanarama Conference North to come in a minute, because just at the moment though, Harrogate Town looked like they were about to create a chance, and Guiseley defend it well though. Brooksby firm challenging on him on the halfway line, and Harrogate come forward down that right hand side. Both teams sensing the 3 points are up for grabs here, but neither side has been able to break the deadlock. It's now File 2, Barrow 2, so Barrow back on level terms. Guiseley won't change their position unless they win the game here. They won't have made things any better for themselves, so we've got to do that, and at the moment it's proving very difficult to create the chances to merit that. Now Danny Boschel on the halfway line has the ball. Danny Ellis is chased down by Clayton again, gives the ball to Holdsworth. Square here to Danny Boschel. Danny Boschel square to Danny Lowe, and Guiseley come over the halfway line. 3 players ahead of him, but also plenty of yellow shirts blocking his way. Ball out here to Ben Parker. Can Parker cross? He plays a lovely ball in here to Danny Lowe, who stayed forward. Lowe up from centre half, plays it into the area towards Jake Lawler. The header comes in from Adam Boys actually, and it goes back to the goalkeeper anyway, fairly harmlessly. I think the defender got the touch just ahead of Boys, and Barnes holds on to it, lofts it long. Danny Ellis, good battling in the air from Danny Ellis, take it away from Clayton, but good work here from Kerry. And then Wayne Brooksby, who wins the ball back from him, and Wayne Brooksby tries to thread it towards Alex Johnson. Well blocked out, and Harrogate can return the ball into the Guiseley half here and look again for a chance forward. Fallowfield chips it over the top here. Thulis is offside, and it looks like the Lions will be making a second substitution when they can. In the meantime, Stephen Drench has sent it long in here for Alex Johnson. Johnson can't control the ball, and it's gone out for a throw. And so Guiseley make a second one. I guess it must be Nicky Boschel. It's the only one I can imagine you would make. And it's Adam Boys who's coming off. And it's been a funny afternoon, hasn't it, for Adam Boys? It's his last one. You'd have thought you might just have, got as much as you can out of him before his suspension. But instead, Nicky Boschel will come on, and Adam Boys, who's not really had such a productive afternoon, goes off.
Yeah, you've got to trust Mark with that decision, because Adam's got a couple of games where he's going to be missing him. Nicky Boschel, he offers something quite different to Adam, because Adam's all about strength and power. Nicky's about, a bit of power himself, but a bit of speed to go alongside that. So it looks like Alex and Nicky will now be forming a bit of a strike partnership for the last 10 minutes. And it's just trying to break down the Harrogate defence. Adam Boys, when the balls haven't been going to his feet, he's been running after him, but he just hasn't had the luck today that he has had in other games.
Well, one here from Jake Lawler. Lawler into the feet of Parker. Parker chips it over the top. Alex Johnson is pushed in the back by Nowakowski, and it's a free kick to Guiseley. And this time again, I imagine it'll be another set piece where we'll go long with it. And they're lining up Actually, in fact, Danny Boschel tries to play it to the left-hand side towards Nicky Boschel. It's well short, and it's easily defended by Harrogate Town. Very disappointing end to that set-piece potential. Danny Boschel heavy on the challenge again, and it'll be a free kick here to Harrogate Town inside the centre circle. Late drama. Bradford City, by the way, are 2-0 up now against Fleetwood. Braintree 2-0 up against Dartford. Chorley 2, Bradford Park Avenue 1. Listen to this, Fylde 3, Barrow 2. And it's finished, by the way, Worcester City 0, Hensford 3, it says. So that's a little bit early by my reckoning. So perhaps there's been a problem there somewhere. Guiseley, meanwhile, having to defend a free kick here, taken on the halfway line from Harrogate Town. Flicked into the area. It's free in the area. A chance here for Navakowski to have a shot on goal. Andy Holdsworth just managed to get across him. Felt the wrong man from a Town perspective. The cross comes back into the penalty area and eventually helped away. Nicky Boschel now has to defend. Navakowski, who had a gilt-edged chance there, comes down the left-hand side, trying to create another chance for the home side. He comes forward, but eventually stopped in a run. Brooksby now under pressure. Has the ball on the edge of the penalty area. It is picked up, and a free kick now to Harrogate Town in a dangerous position after Brooksby dawdled on the ball too long. Harrogate have another free kick in a very dangerous position indeed.
Yeah, well, they've had two big chances there. It was a fantastic effort for Navakowski. You know, like you were saying, it's fallen to the wrong man. If it falls to Walshaw, it's 1-0. But then this free kick, with not that long to go, it's a big chance for Harrogate Town. They've got 5 players on the edge of the 6-yard box as this one floats in towards that area. It's headed down by Clayton. The free kick has been given anyway. Clayton got a good connection on it. Stephen Drench with a good save. It was put behind anyway, but Clayton was adjudged to have pushed. And you just got the feeling the referee wasn't too convinced with the original decision, actually, and there was going to be a free kick. But Guiseley will have a free kick, effectively a goal kick, after just holding enough of a line there to keep out Harrogate Town. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't hear the whistle at first, so I was a bit worried that the chance was going to continue, but it was a clear free kick. Referee did well there giving that, and Harrogate Town, that was a big chance for them, but it's buoyed the crowd up for the last couple of minutes.
It's like a landing strip, this pitch, isn't it? It's so narrow. I feel like you could probably land or take off a plane on here. It's just so difficult. And we've just seen another example of how it's causing Guiseley problems, because Stephen Trent has tried to play it out to the left-hand side and it's just gone beyond the intended target. They're just used to more space. I mean, you know, in fairness to Harrogate, you can do that, so why not, I suppose, if that's what you think is effective, but just not convinced. Guiseley have just gone a free kick here. Stephen Drench on the edge of the 18-yard box.
The Harrogate Town Champagne Man of the Match this afternoon, selected by Jeff Riles.
And it's
number 5, Luke Shields.
Luke Shields, you could probably just hear on the 10i, has been given the man of the match from the home sponsor. And the ball taken by Stephen Drench goes up towards Jake Lawler. Hard to argue with it. He's been very strong in the defensive positions he's had to hold. This is a team who've been short of goals and easy to ship them. They haven't looked like shipping them today and have looked like scoring them. James Walshaw now goes forward. Danny Boschel's brought him down 20 odd yards from goal. Free kicks given. Danny Boschel will go in the book, and Guiseley now have another big moment here to defend. And Danny Boschel, the assistant manager, has been spoken to by the referee, Mr. Richardson, and a yellow card will be produced. Guiseley now have a very big moment here, because with just 3 minutes to go by my reckoning, 3 minutes to go with the Lions 0-0 here at Harrogate Town. This is in good territory to be hit, and Guiseley have a 4-man wall. It's about 10 yards from the edge of the D, I'd say, just slightly to the left hand side as the Harrogate Town players line up facing this Guiseley goal. The ball over the wall, takes a deflection off the wall. It'll be a corner, and it was well defended in the end by the wall. Did its job, got enough of it, touch on it to take it away. Corner now on the left hand side for the home side. 0-0. Last couple of minutes of this game. 5 or 6 players crowding into that 6-yard box as it comes in there. Takes a deflection off Danny Ellis, and he almost puts it into his own net. but it's gone behind, and it's clearly another corner. And again, Gavin Rothey's protesting about something, as is Stephen Drencher, not happy about something. But again, the pressure continues. Oh, it's difficult watching this, isn't it?
Well, just for a second, it looked like that was going to be going into the top corner, because Danny Ellis is trying to head it off his right side of his head. It hits off the left, nearly goes in.
Kerry with the corner again, up to the edge of the 6-yard box, headed towards the goal, but too high and behind for a goal kick. Sigh of relief, actually, from up here, because it's been a pretty ropey last couple of minutes there, and just a little bit of a laugh because someone tried to return the ball, just hit the top of the stand, and it smacked back down onto them. I always think that moments that make you laugh, don't they? When fans try to return the balls and it goes wrong. Hyde 2, Stalybridge 4 in the Vanarama Conference North. Rotherham 1, Huddersfield 2. Goal back there for Rotherham in the Championship, and another goal in the Championship. Not the right way for Leeds United. 2-0 now to Wigan. Guiseley still 0-0. It's fair to say that Nicky Bosch was having his shirt pulled down. You can see most of his chest as he went for that ball, but Guiseley still have it with the feet of Alex Johnson on the left-hand side. Gives it to Ben Parker. Infield here to Gavin Rothey. Rothey cuts infield, but no headway being made at all by Guiseley. Rothey goes for the other angle. Gives it to Holdsworth. Holdsworth goes back here to Danny Ellis. Ellis up in the sky. Looks to get into the area. 2 Harrogate Town men ahead of Alex Johnson. Back here to Danny Boschel. Guiseley still with the ball. Up towards Nicky Boschel. Headed away again by Harrogate, but eventually picked up by Danny Boschel once more. Nicky Boschel goes down, surely gets a push for his merits, and he's won Guiseley a good free kick, and Nicky Boschel actually goes down there. He was flicking the ball past the Harrogate man and took a full connection, I think, as he was run into. I think he'll be okay. The referee's just telling the physio he doesn't need to come on, but he has indicated there's going to be another 3 minutes of stoppage time, so we have 3 minutes to go for a potentially match-settling goal, and guys, they have a free kick. It's about 10 yards. It's very central. Midway into this half is perhaps too far for a shot, I would say. Andy Holdsworth stands over it. And Nicky Boschel standing over it as well. Lions, if they do drill this in towards a goal, will probably hope for best to get a rebound or a deflection off something. It's quite some distance. There's 4 players on the wall. Holdsworth curls this one round, just past the post, actually. Goalkeeper Phil Barnzo seemed to have it covered, in fairness, and it's behind for a goal kick. And it looks like this game's heading towards a 0-0, Tom.
Yeah, it's a good effort by Holdsworth. I think, like you were saying, that the goalkeeper didn't seem too panicked. It was such a long way out. It would have taken something very special to beat the keeper, and yeah, just drifts wide in the end. The goalkeeper didn't really dive for it. He knew it was where it were going, and it's just one of them now where Guiseley, just get forward and try and get a winner here.
Wayne Brooksby's just pulled his man down as he was trying to win the ball on the right-hand side from a long one forward. Nothing given, so Guiseley will have to, again, concede a free kick, but deep inside the Harrogate Town half. As we've played a minute and a half of the 3 that are to be added, most of which have been dead ball moments. A free kick, and this free kick have used up most of the time, so they've been setting up the play. Both sides settling for a point now. It's finished Hyde 2, Stalybridge 4. We'll bring you all the final scores from the Vanarama Conference North in a couple of minutes at the end of this game. Tackle comes in from Danny Boschel, takes a deflection off a Harrogate man. No, it doesn't. It's going to be a throw in to Harrogate Town on the left-hand side. And they'll perhaps have last throw of the dice here. A couple of late goals in that game between Steve Kittrick's new side, Telford, and Nuneaton, but Nuneaton now leading by 4-3. Harrogate Town tried to thread the ball through. Well blocked by Jake Lawler. Again, he himself can't find anyone. It's a real scrappy sort of affair, this game. Nobody able to really complete a pass, and neither can Guiseley and neither can Harrogate Town until Jake Lawler actually gives it to Thulis. Thulis, the substitute, on the edge of the D, trying to go round everyone. Eventually Danny Lowe steps across him, wins the ball back off him, and takes it past the Harrogate substitute, laying it up here to Nicky Boschel, still deep inside his own half. Gives it back to Gavin Rothey. Guiseley defend well, but Gavin Rothey's cross ball forward is poor, and it's out into touch. And would you believe it, Steve Kittrick's Telford have just got a very late equaliser, so it's Nuneaton 4, Telford 4, so an unbeaten start for Kitty at his new club. And 8 goals on Boxing Day. Can't be bad.
Typical Kitty.
3 minutes are up. We're just waiting for whatever the referee decides to add on. He decides to add on nothing. He's had enough. I think it was we all have. It's not been a classic by any stretch of the imagination. The first was frenetic and fast, and there were chances. The second was just scrappy and not particularly rewarding. It's finished here. Harrogate Town 0, Guiseley 0.
Well, a scrappy game of football. Both sides got forward. 0-0 isn't really a fair result, but I do feel that the draw is fair for both sides. Both teams will be disappointed they didn't get a goal because they created chances. It's just a game where this match lacked that little bit of quality that's needed in a game like this. And all in all, 0-0, a draw, a point apiece, a fair result for both sides.
Yeah, it dragged you away from your Christmas films and your Boxing Day turkey. You might feel a little bit shortchanged. It's not been a classic by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a point, and an away point, I suppose, is one way of looking at it. But I think Mark Bauer's going to be disappointed that guys here haven't been able to do something here. But it's been very it's not been a pretty game of football to watch. You know, like we say, we've talked about the narrow pitch, we've talked about the direct style of Harrogate Town that they have. This hasn't been good, you know. No. it's not the kind of expansive football I would expect on the sort of potential surface that we have here. Yeah,
I think guys, they got into a couple of positions where it looked like they might be able to make something from it, and it's just that little bit of quality that was lacking today, that little bit of composure. I think Alex Johnson, when he came on, he started to create a few chances, but he didn't get the ball enough, and Harrogate Town, in the end, they just marked him out of the game, and Nicky Boschel comes on for the last 5-10 minutes and he just couldn't really get a touch on the ball. I've got to say that the lad that came on for Harrogate Town late on, I actually thought he did quite well, and it looked like he's maybe trying to work his way into getting a start. Walshaw was Walshaw. He does it every time he creates chances. Guiseley did well to prevent him from getting a goal. But like I said, I think 0-0 may be not the right scoreline, but I think a point for both sides is a fair result because neither side really dominated the game. Both cancelled each other out, and well, 0-0 on Boxing Day, eh? There you go.
0-0 on Boxing Day, not what we expected. Let's just quickly round up the scores we've been keeping tabs on. First of all, in the Championship, Leeds 0, Wigan 2, Rotherham 2 with a late equaliser there, Rotherham 2, Huddersfield 2. In League 1, Fleetwood 0, Bradford 2. League 2, York with 10 men have beaten Accrington, or leading against Accrington. It's not quite finished there, 1-0. Vanarama Conference, Aldershot 1, Barnet 3. Forest Green 2, Kidderminster 3. These games aren't yet confirmed finished, but it's Chester 0, Altrincham 2, Dartford 0, Braintree 2, Dover 3, Welling 0, Eastleigh 2, Woking 2, Gateshead 2, Halifax 2, Lincoln 3, Alfreton 1, Macclesfield 0, Grimsby 1, Nuneaton 4, Telford 4, that has finished, Southport 0, Wrexham 1, Torquay 1, Bristol Rovers 2. In the Vanarama Conference North now, some big score lines here, not many 0-0s. I think we've in fact witnessed the only one of the afternoon. Boston 5, Lowestoft 3. What a classic that's been. Boston raced into a 3-0 lead, but Lowestoft pegged them back in that second half excellently. 5-3. Chorley 2, Bradford Park Avenue 1. Bradford Park Avenue led early on in that game, but Chorley have turned it round to win 2-1 against John Deasy's men. Fylde 3, Barrow 2 in the match of the day, the first versus second place in the Vanarama Conference North. Fylde winning with a late goal after Barrow twice equalised against their title rivals. Gainsborough 2, North Ferriby 0. Gloucester 1, Brackley 1. Brackley finishing that game with 10 men. Harrogate 0, Guiseley 0 here. Hyde 2, Stalybridge Celtic 4. Hyde also reduced down to 10 men there. Leamington 4, Oxford City 0. Not quite finished there. Solihull 0, Tamworth 2. Stockport County 1, Colwyn Bay 1. And Worcester City 0, Hensford 3. But the match was abandoned for not quite sure what reasons that was for, possibly at this time of year, of things like floodlight failures, especially with just 10 minutes to go, so I doubt it's anything to do with the weather. But let's just see quickly what that means for the league tables. It does mean this evening that Fylde are at the top of the table, so we will be the match of the day on Sunday when Fylde take on Guiseley. We're at home to the league leaders, who have currently got 46 points from 21 games. Second place Barrow, 45 from 21. Guiseley now 42 from 22. Chorley just a place behind now, 38 from 21. Solihull 37 from 21. Boston United 34 from 22 after that 5-3 victory. They've leaped up 4 places. Oxford City now 34 from 22 and Worcester City 33 from 19. Right at the bottom, equally big results down there. It's Hyde 10 from 23, Stalybridge 19 from 22, Bradford Park Avenue now into the bottom 3, 20 from 21. Gloucester City, a win at Brackley has pulled them out there, 21 from 21. Brackley 23 from 22. I would like to say I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not sure there's much to enjoy this afternoon, but we've seen an interesting brand of football. We'll hopefully see something better on New Year's Day when the two sides do battle again. We look forward to that, but first there's a big matter of AFC filed on Saturday. Hope you enjoyed it this afternoon, and we'll see you on Saturday. Cheers.